NFL Draft Day is finally here. After a long 4 months, we're finally here, sitting on April 23rd. First round is here. As always, we're doing a little different. We're doing a live stream today. We got all the
See how
fellas.
this
We got,
goes.
yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's the first live stream we've done with the Hashes crew. So as always, joined by Braden Bank and Brock Bierman and myself, Dawson Livingston. You may be wondering, what are these gross jerseys that we were all wearing? Shout out Fanatics a couple weeks ago, hooking up the jersey sale. Fellas, I'll ask how you are, and then I'll let you introduce your jerseys.
I just saw an NFL draft prospect at the 6-7 live on ESPN, so I'm a little bit worse than I was about 30 seconds ago. But otherwise, you are like 27 years old, dude.
I'm only 25. I know the hair makes it look like I'm 40, but like, good lord, bro.
Shots fired. We're a minute 40 seconds live, and shots have been fired.
I don't care.
Also, can I at least get
Finger
the
stays
excuse
on the
that
trigger,
I have
baby.
to hang out with like a bunch of 2 to 4 year olds on the weekend watching a bunch of nieces? Can I at least have that excuse of like having the brain rot of like a child a little bit?
Fine.
Kinda?
No.
I guess. I guess
man.
I'll let you have that one. But
Braden, what jersey are you wearing right now? Stand up and let the folks see it.
I was given the luxury of wearing a McCorkle Jones New England Patriots jersey because you know it doesn't hurt as bad as it would have this time like 2 years ago.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Kat's here too.
Yeah.
She's loving it.
There we go.
But this would have been a lot worse 2 years ago, back when the only thing I really had any sort of ties with Mac Jones for was on draft night, the Niners were just going to draft Mac Jones, and then they ended up being a smokescreen and ended up going at 15, which is a good tie-in to, hey, everything that you have heard about the NFL draft is a lie. There are no guarantees.
I do not disagree. Brock, how are you feeling, and what jersey are you wearing tonight?
I'm feeling all right. Just saw a two-time former Iowa Hawkeye, Caden Proctor, walk on the screen. But
yeah, man.
we're doing all right. I'm not. Oh, now I'm seeing someone else on the screen that I'm not.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
there he is.
Yeah, I'm seeing Ty
Mr.
Simpson on the
Arizona
screen,
right
so
there,
I'm
Ty
not
Simpson.
too excited about that.
That's a
yeah.
Cardinals quarterback.
For those
I've ever seen
people
one.
that are tuning in for the first time potentially on our podcast or any sort of media that we've done, Braden's a 49ers fan, so none of these jerseys we are wearing are the teams that we cheer for, as you can probably tell with the Frank Gore jersey actually in the background. But I am a Arizona Cardinals fan for some reason. Actually, not really for some reason. Shout out David Johnson. Really
Shout out.
is the big reason I fell in love with football. Back at his Northern Iowa days when he by himself ended the North Dakota State winning streak that everybody remembers in the early 2010s. But I have the luxury of wearing, I was pretty much given a choice between one of two Indianapolis Colts quarterbacks at one point.
Same number, right?
I think it is the same. I
They
think
are
it
the
did.
same number, yeah.
Yeah.
So depending on who you are, if you're, I guess they kind of happen back to back. So it's like almost like not necessarily when you were watching the Colts play football or whatever. But I have the luxury of wearing the
Kansas City Chief legend.
Kansas City Chief legend Carson Wentz jersey. I am not gonna lie, it's kind of funny, especially if there's people who are watching. If any of them are from the group chat of my buddies from high school that we still talk to on a daily basis, we had like a heated conversation, I think, before the 2020 season about if Dak Prescott or Carson Wentz is a better quarterback. I'm not even joking. You got to you have to put yourself back in 2020, 2019 territory of like what it was around that time. There were people that were legit like fighting with each other, and there was only one person in the entire chat that actually had a rooting interest in either of the quarterbacks, and it was my buddy who is a Cowboys fan, and he likes to remind people every once in a while in that chat, just being like, hey, I'd like to remind y'all that some of y'all thought Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott. But so that's kind of funny that I'm wearing a Carson Wentz jersey.
The jury's still out.
What was that? Jury's
The
still
jury's
out?
still out.
Hey, Carson Wentz almost won MVP. Let's not act like he didn't do that.
Hey, for those watching right now, if you are able to put something in the chat, name the most like obscure quarterback you would love to wear like a jersey. Like if you have a jersey of them or a jersey you'd love to wear it. Not enough. Put that in the chat like that. Dawson, it looks like you're wearing a Hawkeye jersey, but I forgot that we didn't get you a Hawkeye jersey.
No, this is an Alex Padilla jersey for any Iowa fans out there.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for the most random Iowa or Iowa State player reference to happen, but
no. So what's funny is to someone that's a Steelers fan from last year, you see like the number. It's like, oh, that's Rodgers, and then it's like, and then you see that, you see Kenny Pickett, and you're like, what is this kid doing? What is this kid doing?
worst name to have as a quarterback.
Yeah, shout out. 4 years ago to the day, or not to the day, but like 4 years ago, he was the
Around
first
the
round
same
pick
time.
for the Steelers. It would have been crazy if it's the same day. I should have said it with confidence. Then you guys would have believed me.
Yeah, nobody's going to fact check you or anything.
True.
People don't do that.
Silly me. But no, we all did this as kind of a funny ha-ha. Again, this all
I could
started
have wore
with
my
like,
Kyler jersey, honestly.
yeah, like I don't know if anyone that's watching right now saw our post that we made announcing that we were going to live stream. We all had like our favorite team's jerseys on.
I'm
And
wearing
now
a
you
40
see it.
jersey, unfortunately, in that graphic, but more of a Brock Purdy post.
We are wearing the same jersey, except yours has a Super Bowl patch.
Yeah, that was an impulse buy in the middle of a class that I did not want to be in. When they release all those jerseys, and then you only get like 24 hours to buy them because everybody buys them all. And then I got that one, and I was like, well, I can't just get a Brock Purdy one. I need to get him a friend, so I got him a George Kittle one too. And then I was like, oh, this is, yeah.
I remember that Super Bowl. I was 50-50 between do I buy a sweatshirt now or do I buy a jersey when we win.
Yeah,
I decided jersey when we win, and then we lost. So
I still don't
got
regret
nothing.
it. That is one of those. It's the only time I've ever had a rooting interest in a Super Bowl because I was too young to even care about the Cardinals when they were in the Super Bowl with Warner and those guys. But
That was the first year of the podcast network, that football season. So I was a big fan that year for obvious reasons.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Before we get started into NFL draft talk, there was some news that has happened since our last recording, more specifically involving a huge top 10 pick being sent to a different team. I'm, of course, talking about Dexter Lawrence is no longer on the New York Giants. He was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals for the 10th overall pick, meaning the Giants now have 2 top 10 picks, which kind of changes how the whole board is going to fall tonight. And obviously Cincinnati felt the need to swing for the fences and acquire Sexy Dexy, as he's called. But fellas, what are your thoughts on Dexter Lawrence being traded to Cincinnati?
first things first, I think we got to mention the Giants have 2 top 10 picks again. We were just talking about the 2022, or that wasn't. Was that 2022 Super Bowl?
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was
2022 draft.
So somehow that's connected again. I don't necessarily like what that means for my future, but
Hey,
the
Chiefs had 2 picks in
it's
that
out
22
there.
draft, so it's lined up.
I think I'm going to stop making comparisons to that season now. More importantly, Dexter Lawrence, I mean, I mentioned this on the TikTok that I posted about this. Very funny how literally 3 days before that trade happened, I was like, yeah, no. I mean, the first team that comes to mind for a team that could use Dexter Lawrence's services is the Bengals, but like, they don't care about their defense. They're not going to do that. They're not going to make that trade. They went ahead and sent out the 10th overall pick and then gave him like a 1-year, $29 million extension, I think it was.
something along those lines. Yep.
Which, again, with the Bengals and not giving a super long-term extension, but, like, Dexter Lawrence did already have 2 years on his contract. So it's not like he needed, like, a super long contract right now. But there's 2 ways you could look at this. There's one, the 10th overall pick for a 29-year-old nose tackle who had half a sack last year. That's kind of a crazy pay. Or there's option 2, which is who at pick 10 would have provided even close to the value or the production that Dexter Lawrence is going to provide for the Bengals next year. There just isn't. Like, Caleb Downs may or may not end up making it there. I mean, Mansour Delane probably will make it there, but they needed to improve their defense with that pick, and they did it. So, is what it is.
Brock, what are your thoughts on that move?
I forgot that the Bengals actually, or maybe the Bengals finally figured it out that you need to worry about your defense to be able to, you know, win games. So I I was shocked. Like the TikTok that Braden posted showed, like I don't think any of us really thought that Cincinnati was going to make this move because they never really have cared about the defense, nor have they really ever invested, extended, or anything on even the players that they drafted. So why would they make a move and then give? I know, like you guys mentioned, already had a 2-year contract, but adding another year to it is a big move. I don't know if it changes anything on my outlook on the Bengals. I think the Bengals are one of the weirdest teams in the NFL for me. Like I don't know. I know a lot of people want to like invest in them and buy in on them because they do have a lot of great players. But like every year, I get close to like August or the last couple weeks of the preseason, and I'm just like, something smells over in Cincinnati, and for some reason, it seems like year after year they usually prove me right and fall flat on their face, except for that that one run to the Super Bowl that they had a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed the Bengals last offseason. It gave us like content during the dog days of the summer where it was just like, hey, it's like we'd all get in our group chat and be like, guys, we don't like there's nothing to talk about, and then it'd be like Bengals news, like, oh, maybe we do need to make an episode. So I appreciate them for that sense. But man, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it feels like Cincinnati paid like 120 cents on the dollar for this move. Like they overpaid. I don't want to say like significantly, but like I don't think any team was coming close to the Cincinnati offer. I mean, when I saw him potentially getting moved, I was thinking, okay, late first round pick, maybe early second, like something along the lines of that. Dude, the 10th pick, you can get yourself a stud this year. Like Braden mentioned, we'll see if Downs is going to be available at pick 10, Mansour Lane. Sonny Styles, I don't know if he's going to fall that far, but he's named. Ruben Bain, we don't really know. Any of the wide receivers, I mean, Cincinnati didn't really need a wide receiver, but like pick 10 could have gotten you some value even if you would have just traded it back. But do you think this improves Cincinnati's Super Bowl chances like drastically, or is it just like whatever move?
I don't think I really would have had them that high to begin with. But I think this does give them a little bit more of a shot just because they have somebody on that defense. Now, if they would have kept pick 10 and then just re-signed Trey Hendrickson somehow, I think that would have been a better roster management move. Obviously, two different positions, edge versus the interior like that. But versus where they were a week ago compared to where they are now, I do think that roster is improved with Dexter Lawrence on it. But it will be interesting to see if what they can do tonight and the next 2 nights to really help him out on that defense so that it's not literally just Dexter Lawrence and the We Believe team.
Yeah, you got to boost up that defense, man. It's going to take a little bit more before I will jump on the hype train, believer train of the Bengals. Good thing is, though, is if your offense is 100% healthy, you'll at least have a fighting chance to compete in your own division. So, yeah, I if they can boost up that defense a little bit more, who knows where they could go. Maybe this will be the year I change my mind and I actually have them close to the top of the AFC.
We'll see. They're at least giving it a puncher's chance this year on defense. They're actually trying, so you can at least give them kudos for that. But now, like I said, it makes it really interesting in the top 10 what the Giants do at pick 5 and now at pick 10. Do they go defense? Do they go offense? I doubt they go offense with both their picks, but you never know. They could go best receiver available and then best alignment available. So that's the crazy part of the draft. Like Braden said earlier, any of the rumors that you see now, they mean absolutely nothing in about 30 minutes when the picks start going down the board.
The Giants are such an interesting team.
They're an interesting thought process for the draft of like, because they could theoretically go like 5 different positions with their first 2 picks. So we'll end up seeing how that goes. But the only other news that we're going to address really quick before the draft starts, the draft officially starts in like 3 minutes per like the ESPN stream. But like, if you're a fan of sports, you know anything that's scheduled for like 7 o'clock, it's always like 10 minutes after the fact before it actually gets going. So we'll account for that. But the other
They get
news
8 minutes to make the picks. They're going to take all 8 minutes, even if they know the Raiders have known who they're taking with this pick since January.
I
But
will
it's gonna take
say,
all 8 minutes.
I don't know if you guys saw, they did decrease the time limit this year. So in
Oh, I did
previous
not
years
see that.
it was 10 minutes per pick in the first round, and now it's 8. It's not like a huge difference, but it helps us out, so we're not up till like midnight streaming. So that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nope, the only other news that we're going to address really quick is the potential AJ Brown debacle. It sounds like Philly's done. Like, it sounds like a trade is happening post June 1, and all signs point towards him getting traded to New England. What are you guys' thoughts on Brown potentially to New England? I know we touched on this in our last episode, so we don't need to like go super in depth on this, but what are you guys' thoughts on this potential move?
I mean, the Patriots need a receiver, so this is good in that sense. The only thing is the Patriots going to have a lot going on right now, for a lack of better terminology. So adding somebody who has been so vocally I feel like calling him a wild card's kind of mean, but a bit more of a character, I think, than your average NFL player. Maybe is not in the Patriots' best interest as far as PR, but hey, at the end of the day, he's a real good player, and if he makes good plays for your team that was just in the Super Bowl, you can't really argue too much about it.
Yeah, it's hard. Anytime a receiver, it seems like when it gets to the, and anytime a big time receiver gets traded, it usually feels like it gets to this point where it seems like they're always like a character, for like Braden said, for the best term possible, really. And I don't know if that's just because of the position or just how the league's structured with how they look at receivers or whatever. But yeah, it would be best for both teams to move, for both parties, AJ Brown and the Eagles, to obviously go their separate ways. The Patriots, I mean, Patriots don't care about PR really. I don't think. If you look at their past, they just care about, okay, what does that mean for our team right now? What like, are we going to be good to go, say kickoff of week 1, whatever it may be. And again, like AJ Brown's, like I think we talked on last week about AJ Brown. He could get traded to, sounds like, New England and be completely fine. Like it was nothing. Like, and maybe that situation in New England, not New England, Philadelphia is so toxic for both parties that is just like kind of being blown out of proportion in terms of like questioning the character of AJ Brown, or are the Eagles doing the right thing? Maybe it's not a match made to work, and so he just needs to go to a different team. And if he goes to a different team, maybe it 100% works out perfectly for him, and we never hear anything bad about like off the field issues with coaches, whatever it may be. And so yeah, just another weapon though for New England if that's the case. And if that is the case as well, I know that they won't do it because of the January, or not January, you said June 1st.
Yeah.
Mark for AJ. Be on the lookout for New England to maybe make picks based around what Philadelphia would want in return, if Philadelphia would want like someone in this draft, whatever it may be. I don't know if there's like restrictions on that with if someone drafts a rookie, if they can't trade them after certain many days or whatever, but because I think the NBA may have that rule or something. I don't know how it all works, but be on the lookout if Philadelphia sees someone around where New England's picking in the first couple rounds. If New England takes a pick and you're like, I don't know if they necessarily needed that, there's a chance that that player could be going to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's a great point. Very curious to see when we get towards the back half of the first round what New England, like what approach they decide to take. Because assuming this goes through, they probably won't go wide receiver at what are they, pick 31?
Yeah.
But maybe they just want to double down and really bolster that wide receiver room. But you made a good point. Maybe it's a handshake trade right now. It's like, hey, we really want so and so, like a corner or something like that. We'll trade JJ Brown in a couple months, but very, very curious to see how that unfolds. There, like I said, a lot of rumors flowing around right now. Teams moving up, teams moving down, players potentially being moved. I think George Pickens officially signed his franchise tag today, which means he's eligible to be traded. Not saying he will be traded by the Cowboys, but that's another wrinkle that could be thrown into tonight's draft if a team's willing to trade away their first round pick if they really wanted to make a difference in this draft. And Braden's referred to the 2022 draft. When the 2022 draft, AJ Brown was traded on draft night for a first round pick. So maybe we'll see the same thing with George Pickens. I've heard stuff like Brian Thomas Jr. potentially on the move. That's the best part of the draft. It's just no one knows what's going on unless you're in the actual draft room for each of the teams. But no, the draft is getting ready to start, and obviously it's not official yet, but the Raiders are going to be on the clock with the first overall pick.
I wonder who they're going to go with.
Yeah, I prepared some off-season stuff and team needs stuff, what they've addressed in the off-season. But the Raiders obviously signed Linderbaum to that massive 3-year, $81 million deal. Signed Quay Walker.
Last one.
Signed Kirk Cousins. Is it Dylan Parham? They lost in free agency, and then obviously,
they lost Kenny Pickett. That's the biggest loss.
How will they ever recover?
They do have 10 picks in this upcoming draft. Obviously, finished with the worst record in the NFL. That's why they own this pick. But with other teams, we'll be able to go in depth and like who we could see them taking. But I think we're all in agreement that they're going to go QB with this first pick, unless you guys
are a 5-year, $172 million deal for Kirk Cousins. I feel like that's your franchise right there.
If Kirk Cousins' agent isn't just a first ballot Hall of Famer, like greatest bagman of all time, Kirk Cousins and his agent.
I would say that, and whoever was like NBA agents back in like that 2016 offseason when like Timofey Mozgov, no offense to Mozgov, Cavs legend, was getting 4 years, $72 million. It's like, whoa. Or like Nicholas Batum, 5 years, $120 million.
Yeah.
It's like
whoa. Ryan Anderson, that one.
Yeah. Like you could put Cousins' agent up there and then any of the agents in the 2016 offseason for the NBA. But do you guys think, obviously, so they only hold one pick tonight. They hold 10 picks total. Do you guys think they make a move up in the first round? I know they have a 33rd pick. They have the first pick tomorrow. But any other potential positions they could target in the first round if they trade up?
I don't really know. I mean, their roster right now isn't like horrible. Obviously, it's not good because they're drafting first overall, but they did make a couple pretty good signings in free agency. So, I mean, maybe if they want to trade back up for like a better tackle alongside Colton Miller, I guess is a decent option because I think their starting right tackle right now is like DJ Glaze, and there's a couple pretty good tackle prospects around that like 20 to 30 range. So if they wanted to trade up for one of those, I could see that. There are also receivers in that range that they might want to move up for, but like there also are some decent options that will probably just be there at their pick. But if they want to team up Fernando Mendoza with like an Omar Cooper, they're going to have to trade back up to probably around 16 to like 19 range, at least, I would say. But yeah, otherwise, I don't really know.
I also don't know how much their current roster is valued at in terms of assets that they would be willing to trade to be able to get those picks. Because I don't think they'd be a lot of the players that they added this offseason, they're good moves for them, but I don't think they would want to move on for them right away. Also, like I I've been so out of it with the Max Crosby situation. Is he 100% going to be on the field for that? Like, is he going to be a Raider this year?
It sounds like it, but
He's on the roster.
yeah.
Okay. It's like Philadelphia's GM, AJ Brown, is a Philadelphia Eagle until he's not, or whatever, where he keeps being questioned about it. Yeah, I will say though, I do like the young core that they are building around this team. Like, this team is building a decently. It's the Raiders though.
What if it's just Max Crosby for AJ Brown, just straight up?
Ooh.
What if that just happens?
I mean,
No.
prayers
Don't
for
put
the
that in
NFC.
universe. Yeah, I would feel more comfortable as an AFC West fan than I would an NFC East fan, for sure.
Oh, prayers for the NFC, especially the NFC East. Ooh, prayers for Dak Prescott. Oh, if that happened, that'd be crazy. But I like Bowers. Mendoza's gonna love having Bowers, and Bowers is gonna love having Mendoza.
Whoa, we don't know if it's Mendoza yet. There's
Stop.
no tampering
Stop.
yet, Brock.
Stop.
Jesus. I will say,
Sources tell me that they're going
Yeah.
with Mendoza.
the Raiders officially are on the clock. They've used about 2.5 minutes of their 8 minutes slotted, so we should be getting an answer on who their pick is at number
By
one.
the way, they just showed a highlight from the Iowa game. You guys were so close to like pulling off the most random upset that would have like. Do we realize how quickly Kurt Ferentz could have ruined the magical season that was the Indiana Hoosiers football team?
Please don't
Iowa was
remind
like
me.
what 5 points away from beating both Indiana and Oregon. Like
Remind me.
I saw your guys'
Iowa
schedule
could
this
have
fall.
almost been like a playoff team if both of those results flip.
Oh yeah, they probably would have. Oh my gosh.
Don't
Also-
remind me the fact that we lost to the national champion in football by 5 points, and we lost to the national champion in basketball by 2 points. I don't need to.
Well,
I don't
welcome
even know
to the Iowa State territory of being able to say we lost to the national champs.
Yeah. Real quick, want to say thank you to everyone that's tuning in right now. We got quite more viewers than I would have thought at this point. So thank you to everyone that's tuning in. Yeah, we'll see where the Raiders end up going, but I think all
Who's your favorite NFL draft bust? Put it in the chat.
Yeah,
With
honestly.
the Raiders at number one
That's
drafting
what
a
I was
quarterback.
hoping you'd
Yeah,
pick that
let us know. Surely we're not thinking about anybody else with that comment.
Hey, Russell even came out and said he's not a bust. I think he said that
I think
like
he
a
put some
month ago.
other comments in that as well that I will not be talking about.
Okay, real quick, since we got a couple minutes, because the Raiders, they're going to take their full 3 minutes. I stand corrected. Apparently the pick's in, but like when we get to
there
the
we go.
Jets, I'll propose this question. But yeah, the pick is officially in. Goodell's not on the stage yet. Obviously, he's going to take his sweet time. But
Well, yeah, everybody's got to remember it's like draft clock, but they already have the pick sent in 5 minutes ago.
yeah,
It's all about TV. It has nothing
Oh,
to
yeah.
do with the actual format of how you think the draft is supposed to be.
I guess I'll
Literally
just ask the
the
question.
The entire sorry to interrupt, but like the
There you
whole like highlights on ESPN has just been Fernando Mendoza for the last 20 minutes.
Ty Simpson.
Who could you possibly think is going to be this pick? I wonder.
Do you see the comp that ESPN has for Tyson, or not Tyson?
Drew Bledsoe.
Kirk
And
Cousins.
Bledsoe didn't have a
baby.
bad career.
Kirk Cousins going to lead them to a Super Bowl.
Drew Bledsoe was. You know
a good
what?
quarterback.
I'm 10 for the Patriots. This is a Drew Bledsoe jersey now. But yeah, Bledsoe would have had a solid. Like he would have been known as a solid quarterback if literal Tom Brady wasn't the guy that usurped him in
But you
New
can
England.
say, if you're Drew Bledsoe, you could say that you started over Tom Brady for a little bit.
You can
You
say
could.
that. There are also like what 4 other quarterbacks that went to Michigan that could say that, but you know.
Oh gosh, here we go.
All right, fellas,
All right.
I got to do it.
Oh
Goodell is walking up right now. We are officially in draft season, fellas.
It's time.
This is Been waiting for this.
Caden
My
Weejan.
mind has been checked out of football since December. I'm ready for this.
Weejan.
Caden Weejan.
Also, I know Dawson just said this. I just saw like a spike of 5 more people come in here. Shout out you guys. There are
Yeah.
like a ton of other. Oh, the pick just got announced. But there are a ton of other places you could be right now watching this draft or watching other people react to it. Shout out to you guys for being like, yeah, I want to watch these 3 guys from
Three
Iowa
meatballs talk about football.
Yeah, we don't
Talk
even have an
about
NFL
sports.
team in our state.
No,
These absolute dinguses. Dingus.
Well, it's official.
It is official. We can finally talk about it. No more beating around the bush. No tampering.
Sorry.
Fernando Mendoza is the next quarterback.
it's been official for like a minute. We just spent the whole time monologuing because it's like, what's the point? We already know this
it
is
wasn't
happening.
official. Timeout. It wasn't official. That's tampering. That is tampering, Brady.
This isn't college football.
Yeah, we can't.
I have a no contact tag. You can't contact me.
But obviously, it's official now. Fernando Mendoza is the next quarterback of the Raiders. What are your guys' expectations for him in year 1?
In year 1, I mean, like our graphics shows right here, literally Kirk Cousins is making like $30 million this year. I would be surprised if he doesn't start at least a few games this year to at least let Mendoza kind of learn the offense, kind of just learn how to become a NFL athlete. But at some point, Mendoza will end up coming in and probably will look pretty good. I mean, I've seen people be like, "Oh, if this wasn't like comparably like not that good of a QB class, Mendoza would like debatably even be a first round pick." I don't know where that's coming from. He is still like he's still a good talent. He will be a good NFL quarterback. He's not like a generational prospect or anything, but he will be much better than the Raiders have had since like 2018 Derek Carr.
Just watch the tape. He's a good guy. He's good at doing what he does. He makes effort plays too, which I feel like that's something that like the Raiders have been kind of missing, is like that gritty type player that will like literally try to do whatever it takes to win a game. I'm not sure how quickly they want to put him into the system. I don't think it's going to be necessarily an Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes comparison, but like maybe he doesn't start immediately, just gets used to the, you know, how it's like being a part of an NFL team, practicing against the scout team and stuff like that. And then at some point, Kirk Cousins is going to Kirk Cousins, and then you're going to have to make the decision to put in Mendoza. And there's a good chance maybe he even starts week 1. Who knows? Like, oh, I got a tornado warning in my area.
Yeah, tornado warning. There we go.
Like that on a live stream. Did you guys get that too, or is it just me?
I did not
Just
get
you.
that. No,
Ha, that's
Just you,
funny.
man.
a cyclone weather alert. You say?
Oh, Dominique Orange is going to the Jets.
Yeah, there's about 3 minutes left until the timer runs out. This is, I feel like, where the draft kind of begins. It
Yeah,
feels like a
over the
lot of the
Jets.
buzz right now has been saying David Bailey is going to go number 2. There we go. Pick is in.
Let's talk about the Jets real quick
Yeah, let's
before
just
we
do that.
Yeah. So the Jets this offseason signed Demario Davis back from the Saints, traded for Geno Smith, traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick, traded away Jermaine Johnson to the Titans, and then traded away Justin Fields to the Chiefs. They have 9 picks in this upcoming draft, and they were the second worst team in the NFL. Where do you guys think this is David Bailey, or do you think this is Arvell Reese?
If this was me making the pick, it would be Arvell Reese. It seems like everybody that has sources to the Jets says that this is David Bailey, but I've seen sources be wrong before. So, who knows?
Sorry, I'm looking at the radar right now on whether or not I actually...
You got to make sure your house doesn't
Yeah.
get blown to smithereens. You've got other priorities right now.
I might hop off at some point, but of course it's going to happen when the Cardinals are going to either be on the clock or making a trade of some
You'll
sort.
be good.
You got to be stick around for that pick. Come on.
So I don't even know what you asked, but I agree with everything Braden said. is
There
what
we
I'm-
go. There we go. Well, the Jets pick is officially in. Goodell's gonna again take a sweet time because this is just—it's all a show anymore. It's all drama and stuff like that.
You know, it's going to hit in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I agree with you, Braden. This is really when the draft
hey,
gets
the
going.
Jets won't take a quarterback.
You don't know that. You can't say that.
And the tornado sirens, or I guess high wind sirens, as they're called now, because it's not tornado sirens anymore,
All right.
are going off.
Goodell is at the podium, fellas. Okay.
It's official.
Wow.
Good-
David Bailey.
good pick.
Okay.
All right, so now this gets spicy because
This is where things get
Arizona,
interesting.
all eyes on you.
This sucks
this
because
is
I might have to
you're
hop
you're,
on.
you're looking at the Saints, you're looking at the Chiefs, you're looking at anybody that really wants an edge rusher right now, that wants Arvell Reese. The price is going
Cardinals
to be
are so
high for this
trading.
third overall pick right now.
The Cardinals are so trading. I'll be right back, boys.
You're good.
Do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. Braden, what are your thoughts on David Bailey becoming a New York Jet? Odds have been fluctuating over the last 3 weeks of like who's the pick here, but it ended up being Bailey. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't think they could have necessarily gone wrong. I think both will be really good pros. It's a matter of this kind of is, did they see Arvell Reese as more of a tweener guy? Did they see him as more of a true edge rusher? And if they see him as more of a true edge rusher, David Bailey is the more pro-ready edge rusher of the two. So it makes sense. Like, if they are trying to win more than 3 games next year, they probably didn't want to have another project. I won't say this necessarily puts them in, like, playoff competition or anything, but this is immediately, like, they traded away Jermaine Johnson to the Titans for Tavondre Sweat. So, yeah, this does give the Jets a pretty solid defensive line. If only they still had Quentin Williams.
Yeah, that's the thing. They had to improve their defense. This was a pick on defense no matter what, because they didn't have a single interception last year, and their defensive ranks, like across the board, were in the 30s. Not good, even with like Aaron Glenn, who's supposed to be a defensive mastermind. So you had to bolster the defense, and in the end, they went with the guy. I would say Bailey's more pro ready. I don't know if you have that same statement as me, but Reese is certainly higher upside. But Reese is kind of a project because he played half his snaps at middle linebacker. He played half his snaps at outside linebacker. So I wouldn't say the jury's out on him, whether he's going to be a good player. But I think the Jets weren't willing to take that big of a risk, especially with it being the second overall pick in the draft. But we are now on to the third overall pick, which is Brock's Arizona Cardinals, which Brock is now, I think, in shelter because he's got a high wind warning over in Slater, so make sure he's all safe. But Arizona Cardinals made a couple moves this offseason. Signed Gardner Minshew, signed guard Isaac Seumalo. Is that how you say his name, Braden?
Yeah, Seumalo. I Seumalo. The guard.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh,
I'm in the
camera change.
basement, boys. I got a
There we
nice
go.
shiny spotlight on my
Hey,
head.
it all works. It's perfect
What did I
time, too.
miss?
We're talking about your Arizona Cardinals and the moves they made this offseason. Didn't really lose a whole lot. They lost Dalvin Tomlinson and then Jalen Thompson. Both were signed. I think Thompson was signed by the Cowboys and Tomlinson was signed by the Chargers. Brock, you are a resident Cardinals fan on the pod. Who would you like this pick to be? Do you want them to stick and pick and take someone here, or do you want them to trade?
It's weird because, like, I wouldn't be upset if they did either of them. Also, I'm sorry if my audio is, like, really bad.
It's
I
all
don't know.
good. Hey, you're here. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Does it sound all right?
It sounds good.
We can hear you. That's all
All
that
right.
matters.
So, you know, the Kyler Murray era is officially over. I'm really, really mixed emotions on that. But at the same time, you knew it needed to happen. So, I don't know. Part of me actually does think that the Cardinals are either going to trade back or just make a trade in general to get Ty Simpson at some point. So, in that case, finding a good defensive end or, you know, I don't think, if I remember right, did we have an offensive lineman going in the top 4 ever? in our
A
live
couple
mocks?
of us have had Maui.
I've had Maui Noah up there a couple times.
Okay. So I wouldn't be upset if they just need to go after one of their needs, and that offensive line is probably the biggest thing that they need to fill up right now, because there's not one of them, or at least there's not many of them that I'm like really confident in. And yeah, they made some signings this offseason, but I don't know. This team's weird because they have some good assets, but it looks like they're actually making a pick because it was
Yeah,
sent
they're not trading this pick.
I was gonna say that this is the longest that a team has gone into their clock so far. I wonder if maybe they tried to make some last minute calls, but no takers.
Yeah. So
Brady,
we'll see,
who do you
we'll see
think
what
this
they
pick
do.
is going to be?
There are really two options. This could be Maui Noah, if they really feel like they want to improve that offensive line, get that other bookend tackle, or I mean, Arvell Reese is kind of just here. It's one of the two. It's whether they want to go BPA, I think, in Arvell Reese, or fill a, I think, more important need in Maui Noah. Those are really the two options. I guess Love is also in the mix, and they have said that they really like Jeremiah Love, but I just don't feel like that makes sense right now for the Cardinals.
I get that. I'm actually kind of shocked that they're making a pick here.
I am too.
I am as well.
It was, again, this is why you can't believe like most of the rumors you see out there, because for literally the last 2 weeks it was like Arizona is dying to get out of that third pick. They do not.
I
want
mean,
to
hey,
make
maybe
a
they
selection.
love Ty Simpson so much.
They might.
If got to do what you got to do to get your guy.
Yeah. All right, he's coming.
There we go. I have the trade video ready, but no, nothing's happening yet. But
For what was supposed to be one of the most trade happy top tens,
I
so
know.
far no trades.
sounds like Shams last summer in the NBA.
I'll be right back. What was it? What was it?
Okay.
Brock, I think you're gonna like that
Okay.
pick.
Ooh.
You're gonna love that
Yes.
pick.
Someone's calling me. I'll be right back, but I will be back.
You're good.
I love this pick.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is official. The Arizona Cardinals have selected running back Jeremiah Love. He is the highest running back to be drafted since I think Saquon.
Yes,
in
I
2018.
believe so.
Last year, Genty was picked number 6, and that was the highest in a while. But the Cardinals
Okay.
did it. They must have not liked the trade offers they were being presented, and they end up going with someone you could say is the best player in the draft. Like, it's certainly an argument. Positional value kind of takes a hit, but like, man, what a way to like. Again, though, this is the draft. This could have been Maui Noah. This could have been a trade out, but instead it's like we're going to take best player available, literally. So
Yeah, I like I said, there were reports out there that the Cardinals love Jeremiah Love, no pun intended there. They saw him as their guy. Fit wise, it's interesting because like you just paid Tyler Algier, but long term Tyler Algier is not stopping you from taking a prospect like
No.
Jeremiah Love. Even like Trey Benson on roster, we don't know what that is. James Conner, I think, still exists. Like
Yep.
none of those guys stop you from taking a prospect like Jeremiah Love. It just is like I said, I felt like there were bigger needs if you wanted to actually make improvements now.
man, this is certainly a fun pick, though. Like
Yeah.
they could have. Part of me, I like when teams select offensive and defensive linemen because like you win games in the trenches. Look at Seattle; they won the Super Bowl this year because of like how dominant their D line and their O line were. But like, man, this is kind of a fun pick. I'm kind of in favor for it. Now we'll see what quarterback looks like for the Cardinals this upcoming year. But no, safe to assume Brock loves this pick. We are on to pick number 4 already, so that's crazy to see. Draft's going a little bit faster than I would have given it credit for, so I'm already a little bit happier than I was going to be. But now the Tennessee Titans are on the clock at number 4. They made a few key additions, signing Wan'Dale Robinson, Alante Taylor, John
Do we
Franklin
want
Myers.
now that Brock is back? I'm sorry to interrupt. Do we want to ask the resident Cardinals fan, now that you've
Yeah.
had a second to let it sit, even though you've been on a phone call,
Yeah.
what
shout,
what are your official thoughts? First impressions. Jeremiah Love is an Arizona Cardinal.
shout out, family for checking in on us
we go.
while we have
There we go.
tornado warnings going on. But I don't really know if I have fully processed what just happened because I didn't expect this whatsoever. But I love this pick. I would have actually thought that if they would have made this pick, they would have traded back for it, like a couple picks, whatever it may be.
I
But
think you would have made it there.
that's it's weird because they just signed Alliger. I butchered that name, didn't I?
Algier.
Yeah, you're
Algier.
good.
Sorry, I've pronounced his name 40 different ways since he signed with Arizona. Don't listen to our NBA podcast if you want to hear good pronunciation of players' names. But anyways, I'm blown away that they did this. I'm so happy that they did this. James Conner's been rough over the past couple of years. You can't keep the guy healthy. He has a good game and he gets hurt in that same game usually every year when he finally plays. The first time in a while that I'm like happy with what the Cardinals did.
Yeah, like I was telling Braden, this is like positional value. It's probably not the greatest pick, but this is a fun pick. Like
This is great.
this is going to open up that offense that much more because now you have Trey McBride, you have Marvin Harrison Jr. now, Jeremiah Love, like even Michael Wilson. Like if you can find your quarterback either this year or next year's draft, whoo, Cardinals might no longer be the frisky Panthers. It might be the frisky Cardinals.
I need to see, more from Manning this next year in
Yeah.
college. But like the way that they're building this offense right now, if they're in that situation to potentially grab him or another guy next year, this offense is going to be really well. It looks like the Titans pick is in. If you guys want to hit on that real quick.
Yep. Tennessee has officially submitted their pick into Roger Goodell. But just a quick recap of their offseason before we switch over to that. Signed Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants. Signed cornerback Alante Taylor from the Saints. John Franklin Myers came over from the Denver. Traded for Jermaine Johnson. And then their only real loss was like they lost to defensive end Arden Key to, I think, Indianapolis. What do you guys think is the pick here with Love off the board? This was like the Jeremiah Love spot for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. So where do you think Tennessee ends up going?
I mean, they did just get two, I won't say edges because JFM isn't exactly an edge rusher, but I mean Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain kind of just feel like either one is a possibility here.
Hold that thought real quick. Goodell is getting ready to announce the pick, so I will have you finish your thoughts as soon as he's done with this.
Well, who I think is going to get picked, I guess, doesn't really matter in about 2 seconds.
You're right.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
there's our first wow. There's our cue the Bill Simmons whoa.
Whoa.
4.
Cue the
Okay.
whoa. Carnell Tate,
Wow.
wide receiver, Ohio State, pick 4.
Cam Ward got himself a weapon, baby. All right.
They must realize they have something special with Cam Ward. And they're like,
I-
we need to get him some guys now.
I think Tennessee's thought process was, hey, if Love's not there, it has to be receiver. And over the last week, Tyson has been climbing up boards, but Tate's been the no doubt number 1 receiver this entire process. But wow, that is a Jeremiah Love pick was like surprising, but it's like, okay, that's been rumored for a little bit. This
And
was
yeah.
nothing.
There was
no one had this.
nothing there. No. And now a receiver room of Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson, Alec Ayamaner, Chimere DK. Like there's something going on there in that Titans offense. Hey, year 2 Cam Ward, look out.
Yeah. Real quick, I want us to give a special thanks to everyone that's listening right now. Like I said, we really appreciate it. We didn't know how this was going to go, and we thank everyone for the support. We might do this more often now. We didn't know how this, like I said, we didn't know how this was going to go or how the flow of this was going to be, but it's been a lot of fun so far. But no. Brock, what are your thoughts on Carnell Tate becoming a Tennessee Titan?
As a Arizona Cardinals fan, I mean, hey, anytime someone takes a Ohio State wide receiver, you're getting someone with full potential. So
Yeah.
it's
It-
and I think Cam Ward is the real deal. I was hesitant in his rookie year and everything, but I remember watching him at Miami, and he was really good. And even before that, he's just a raw talent. And if he gets some star players with him, oof, maybe,
Even the
maybe
cat
Tennessee
was
can build something.
surprised by the pick.
Yeah, nobody in his household saw that one coming at all.
Yeah.
That was something else here. And the
What-
Giants
what's
pick
crazy-
is already in.
Yeah, we gotta kind of hurry up because the Giants, their pick is in. They made a few offseason additions. Signed linebacker Tremaine Edmonds from the Bears. Signed Isaiah Likely. They signed a couple other more Baltimore guys, but I had to change this graphic when Dexter got traded. So traded away Dexter Lawrence, obviously. Lost Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans. I think Dane Belton ended up signing with like the Bills or the Jets or one of those two teams. But Giants, this is the first of their 2 top 10 selections. All the good defensive players are still on the board. Only one offensive player has been selected. Or no, only one defensive player has been selected, pardon me. You have Reese, you have Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Mansour Lane, Ruben Bain.
I'll give my
What was it?
2 cents real quick. I probably have to hop off again.
Okay.
Styles from Ohio State, I feel like should be the guy. Get their quarterback on the defensive side of the ball to be able to establish that future on that side for the Giants.
I don't disagree. Braden, who do you think is going to be the pick at number 5 for the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's going to be one of the Ohio State defenders, whether it's Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. Arvell Reese kind of just doesn't really fit what the Giants need right now. But it could also be like if Maui Noah or Fano, if they want to improve that offensive line, because there's not much going on at guard right now. And Jermaine Illuminor, they did re-sign him back, but he's not necessarily the youngest guy in the world. So if they want to plan long-term there, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, I don't know. This kind of felt like a Jordan Tyson spot also, but
Yeah.
maybe if he ends up going more at 10, I'd believe that a bit more. I don't know. John Harbaugh's it is John or Jim? John. One of them.
Yeah, Jim
both
is the
of them.
coach for the Chargers.
Both of them are defensive guys, so it feels like year one at the helm, he's going to want to go for his defensive guy. Sonny Styles, it feels weird that Sonny Styles is going to go above Arvell Reese, but this feels like that just kind of feels like the natural landing spot right now.
Is it crazy that I think this is the Caleb Downs spot?
Not necessarily. I mean,
I just
he's-
think
he's
Harbaugh's
a really good
had
prospect.
he's had history of having like amazing safeties in his time in Baltimore. Ed Reed, Eric Weddle, Kyle Hamilton, like really, really good safeties. And obviously Downs is kind of a different player than like Hamilton per se, but like he's a no doubt starter day one that can control and captain the defense.
He's kind of somewhere in the middle to me, where he's kind of this undersized guy. Like what? He's 5'11", I think, but like he's more of a box safety more than he is an over the top kill you through the air guy. So, either way, I think he is a heck of a talent. The safety class this year, like I've said a million times, is special. You get any of those top 3 guys, either him, Thieneman, or EMW, which who knows if EMW makes the first round at this point. That sounds like it is 50-50 on that. But any of those guys, I think you're getting a solid defensive starter. But Downs is, even in a good safety class, pretty easily safety number 1, at least for me.
Yeah. Like you said, though, this could be... It might be a little high, but this could be Jordan Tyson as well. This could be the Jordan Tyson pick.
That's kind of where I've been hearing a lot of buzz. I feel like he would fit more at 10 than 5. I feel like you could get a more, like, supposed to go at this pick guy at 5. But, again, at the end of the day, if Jordan Tyson is their guy, how much of a difference does it make whether they draft him at 5 or 10?
Right, I don't disagree. I like I said, like you said as well, any of the Ohio State guys. And then Maui Noah is like a viable option for them at 5. Because, like, if you want Dart to succeed, you want Scatabo to succeed, and Malik Neighbors in that offense, getting an offensive lineman is never going to hurt. It's never going to hurt. So, but no,
That's what we're looking at right now.
Oh
boys.
boy! Oh
where
boy.
that purple is, that's right where we're at, boys.
I'm amazed that you still have
I know.
service, honestly.
Power right
I
now.
will let you. If for some reason my power does cut out, I will send you guys a message
Yeah.
to like confirm or
Oh, yeah.
whatever that I'm good.
I'm just gonna assume that
No,
if
he's
you
he's
completely
raging about
leave
Jeremiah Love.
If you just completely leave StreamYard, I'm just gonna assume that he's
Yeah.
a tree fell on his house.
Yeah. Or if the Cardinals, trade up and take Ty Simpson, that might be the other one.
Right now.
There you go. There you
Now
go.
the
All right.
pick is in, and it looks like Goodell's walking up to the podium. Or somebody is. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Goodell is.
Goodell and a couple other individuals. All right.
I do like the other rounds when they have special guests.
Yeah.
Kids do it every once in a while, charity stuff. That's super cool.
The ones that I get irritated by is like the 7th round where it's like, hey, an elephant's gonna announce this pick.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing?
That's like
What
Nikola
are we doing
Jokic.
here?
The 222nd pick is announced by a turkey sandwich. Just what are we doing? Just grasping at straws to make it more watchable, I guess. Which, I really don't feel like if you're not interested in the 4th through 7th round, I don't think an elephant is really going to switch it for you. But different strokes for different
That's
folks.
true.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, they are going to let one of the. I don't know how old that individual is. I also can't read his lips, so I have no idea what this is going to be.
I also just got that notification, Brock.
Tornado warning now for you guys.
Yep.
We're thriving on
Ooh,
this stream.
okay.
Ooh. We got news just going everywhere. Good lord.
Wow. Dawson, are
All
you
right.
able to see your screen? There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I had to turn off the tornado stuff real quick. For whatever
Whoa,
reason,
okay. Whoa. Hold on.
if it's bad enough weather-wise for all 3 of us, and we have to take a break
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes, we will, and we will.
I happened to look at ESPN. There was something that happened. I'm not going to say, but
Trade.
I have the draft cast on the other screen as well, and
But
something else popped up. I'm saying nothing.
Arvell Reese is the pick here at number 5. A lot of people thought he was going to go number 2 to the Jets. But nope, he's the pick at number 5. What are you guys' thoughts on Arvell Reese to the New York Giants?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I said it a good amount before the pick. This feels like a weird fit. You already have Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and there was another edge rusher I think that they have, that Abdul Carter, where he kind of just feels redundant. I see Dawson has looked at his screen to figure out the news that I accidentally saw, and I think he knows what this means. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate 4 edge rushers, or if they decide that Arvell Reese is more of an off-ball guy than on-ball. I don't know. This kind of just feels like Kayvon Thibodeau again, which he's been all right, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily been like a home run. What, they get him at the 3rd overall pick?
Yeah, that was the year they took Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yep.
No, I mean, if you would have told the Giants before the draft that they would have gotten Arvell Reese at number 5, I think they would have been ecstatic.
I think you have a video you need to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first trade of the day. Kansas City's on the clock. And actually, not even. The pick is in. So, oh my God. All right. Taking that
Here
off.
we go,
Putting
baby.
this on real quick. Just for good luck. And now I'm taking it off. Oh, man. This is the most stressed I've ever been about an NFL draft. Like I told everyone before.
We know what this means, right? If they were going to stick at 9, they were going to take, unless this is a trade up for, like,
Bane?
if there's a trade up for Bane, but I don't know if they needed to trade up if they were going to get Bane. Maybe they did, but like, now that Reese is off the board, maybe they are scared that one of Washington or the Saints are going to take him.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put the other hat back on. It just looks goofy with the Chiefs hat and a Steelers jersey. I would be surprised if it's anyone other than Bane, Delane, or Styles. Those are like the only. Excuse me. I don't think they take Tyson this high. I don't think they trade up to get Tyson. Anyway, I don't think they take Maui Noah, but if they take an offensive lineman with this pick, I'm going to be very sad. But nope. Real quick, the Chiefs offseason, they signed Kenneth Walker, obviously Super Bowl MVP, signed Alohi Gilman from the Baltimore Ravens, re-signed Tyquan Thornton, traded away Trent McDuffie, which is why they have 2 first-round picks this draft, and then they lost Jalen Watson to the Rams on a 3-year, $51 million deal. They have obviously moved up from pick 9 to pick number 6. I'm curious to see what the compensation for this move up is. Yeah, my heart is beating at 1,000 miles an hour right now.
Luke on Twitter, I love the way you think. If this is an offensive lineman, we are about to watch the meltdown of a lifetime, and you have front row seats for it.
Oh, Luke. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be so sad.
Oh, baby.
Again, I have my phone muted. I'm trying to be as genuine as possible with this. I got
to change my tab. I can't get this spoiled for me. I almost don't even want to look at my screen. I just want to watch you and just see what your reaction is and then get it. But no, I need to see this because if it's Maui Noah, I'm just gonna laugh.
You know, not that mad about it.
Okay.
Not mad. That could have been a lot worse.
Traded up.
Hey, man.
Up to 6 to get him. Okay.
They felt the need that corner was. I mean, they lost McDuffie and Jalen Watson, obviously, and I think even like Josh Williams. Not as bad. I'm not gonna lie. I was bracing myself for O-line there. What?
What did I miss? I leave for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You gotta. This is the NFL draft, baby. You can't miss a second.
Sorry,
Commander's
I'm
pick
an
is
Iowan.
already in,
I'm
by
trying to
the
go see
way.
if I can find the tornado outside.
Yeah. To be honest,
Which
every
apparently
Iowa.
there's one that like actually touched down like not too far from us. But now it looks like it's just storms now. But
Okay, cool.
what is going on?
Yeah, I would like to know.
New tight end would have been funny, but no, this is way too high for it to ever.
Yeah,
been
Kenyon
Sadiq.
Sadiq would have been really funny, but again, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being monitors going out the window, 10 being jumping for joy, doing jumping jacks in my room, I'm at like a 6. Like, just
7?
glad it wasn't an offensive lineman. So that's where I'm at with this.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, he obviously, I think consensusly was the best corner in the draft. I think by most people in like front offices. But yeah, like I said, you trade away McDuffie, you lose Jalen Watson. Secondary was a huge need, and Delane was a lockdown corner, especially in the second half of the year. Like teams weren't even throwing him the ball, so I wouldn't give this pick an A+, but I'd give it a solid B. I wouldn't go any higher than that, though, just because, I mean, Mr. T-Rex Arms is sitting there still. But
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could have probably gotten Delane at 9. I don't feel like you needed to trade up for him, but he is still he fits a position of need very well.
The only thing is would New Orleans potentially be in on that? He's an LSU kid. They lost Alontae Taylor. Like, their secondary is not questionable, but, like, Like there's ties there if the Saints wanted to take him. That's the only logic, because I don't think he was going to go to Washington. He obviously wasn't going to go to Cleveland. So
Wow. Good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick by Kansas City, though.
yeah, I was bracing for the worst. So we are on to
Simpson.
pick. Yeah, we're on to pick number 7. Washington Commanders officially have already submitted their pick. Re-signed Larry Tunsil this offseason, signed Adafe Owe, Leo Chanel, and then lost center Tyler Biadasz and running back Chris Rodriguez. Where do you guys think that Washington could potentially go with this pick?
I mean, Sonny Styles is on the board. This feels like it's either going to be Sonny Styles or Jordan Tyson. Either one. Or, I mean, you have corners a listed need. I don't disagree there. But, like, especially with Delane gone, there's no way.
You can't take a corner here. Why do I think this is low-key a Jordan Tyson spot?
I think that's
It
what
definitely
it's
could
gotta
be. They need receiver bad right now.
Yeah, because as far as I know, Debo's not on the roster, right? He's a free agent.
Yes.
And
I
then
believe so.
McLaurin is like the only known receiver there. So, oh man. Okay, my heart rate's like going down slowly. It was at like 180. I don't know if you guys like on your Apple Watch tells you like your heart rate. Mine is at
I got a
160 right there. There you go. All right,
It does
hold
not
on.
tell me anything until I look at the app, and I choose not to look at the app.
Goodell, what is the name you're going to say? It's got Jerome Bettis and who's the other Hall of Famer standing next to him? Am I just being stupid? Lynn Swan. Sorry, Steelers fans. I even got your jersey on. I apologize for that.
It's got to be Tyson, right?
It could be Downs. This could be the pick here.
It could be Downs. That's not a bad option either. Really, there's a lot of ways that they could go here, and I don't think any of them would be
Styles is still
necessarily
there.
bad.
I
Yeah,
guess they did just sign a linebacker this offseason, but also
man. I don't know if this will happen. Well, I'll hold my thought till Washington officially selects. I was gonna say, how crazy would it have been had New York Giants gotten Styles and Reese? But
Oof.
Styles is the pick here at pick number 7. Athletic freak, Sonny Styles.
yep.
Going to a Dan Quinn led defense. They kind of just like needed a lot of help on that defensive side. I still think they need a receiver, but apparently they must have thought Styles was best player available and didn't have to move up, move down to get him. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Sonny Styles being picked by the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had this in a couple mock drafts. I do like this fit. Bobby Wagner is like 47 years old. They did sign Leo Chanel, but he's more of like an edge rusher more than he is an actual like linebacker. This again is a big need for them. What a guy to fill that gap. What a like difference in like archetype than Bobby Wagner, where Wagner's is more like not that Sonny Styles isn't really a thumper. He can be, but like Bobby's kind of more of this like slower run stopper guy. Styles is like a former safety, still kind of learning the nuances of pass coverage, but like it just this athletic specimen, run all over the field, lock everybody up type of guy. This is gonna be fun. This is a fun fit, and I see the comparison on ESPN. It's a Brian Urlacher. I don't hate it.
Man, if
That's
he's
not a
Brian
bad
Urlacher, this is a whole.
If you're getting Brian Urlacher comps on draft day, that's a bona fide
really good.
Hall of Famer.
Dude, there's something about the idea of teams drafting defensive players from. Granted, Ohio State has great wide receivers as well, but there's something about the Ohio State and defensive like side of the ball currently now with Matt Patricia being their defensive coordinator. So you have someone that has the college, I mean not college, the NFL background and has won at the biggest level possible as a defensive coordinator. So he knows how to prep his guys, and he's going. Styles is going to a defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn. So this might be a match made in heaven for both parties in this situation.
I do have the official details of the trade between the Chiefs and the Browns. The Chiefs acquired pick number 6. The Browns acquired pick number 9, 74, and 148. So a third and a fifth to move up 3 spots. So not
Not a bad trade.
Interesting.
not a bad trade for either side. I think Cleveland's just going to take O-line, and it looks like at this point it might be Maui Noah. So, although, cool little side bit is what if they took Jordan Tyson? I mean, his brother plays for the Cavs, Jalen Tyson. So that'd be kind of cool. Kind of cool.
That could be fun and not the worst fit either as far as what they
Yeah.
need.
Because they need receiver or they need O-line with this first pick. And same with
Yeah.
their second pick, I guess. But the Saints are already have their pick in. I will say, big fan of the picks only taking 8 minutes as the tornado siren is going in Norwalk right now. This is really cool. So
We're both dodging and weaving around these.
Yeah,
I
my tornado siren is like about 400 feet that way. So if mine goes off, y'all gonna hear it. It's
I
How
love you
loud
here,
was
Mike.
that Amber, like not Amber Alert, but the tornado alert when my phone went off? Because
Oh my God.
it was loud.
So
it scared me.
I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I had my watch on my stand. And because I don't have my watch on Do Not Disturb, it just started spazzing.
yeah, my watch was going off, my phone was going off. I thought Armageddon had come.
Yeah. But the Saints officially are on. I guess they're not even on the clock. The pick is in. These are some of the moves they made this offseason. Signed linebacker Caden Ellis. Signed running back Travis Etienne. Tight end Noah Fant. And then did lose Alante Taylor to Tennessee. And Demario Davis to the Jets. Who do you guys think the Saints go with at pick number 8?
I mean, this is either Reuben Bain or Jordan Tyson. Maui Noah, I guess, isn't like off the table if they want to move him to guard instead of Cesar Ruiz. But if you're going to take a guard, I feel like you would be better served taking Vega Ioane, who is a more natural right guard. But pick 8 feels a little bit high, but not out of the realm of possibility, I guess. But no, more likely than not, this is Reuben Bain or Jordan Tyson. And I'd probably lean Tyson, honestly.
Yeah, I think if Tate was there at 8, I think they would have.
They need something on the offensive side of the ball. to give
Goodell
them
would
a
have already been
spark.
on the podium if Tate was on the board.
Yeah. We are in commercial right now, so we do get a couple minutes to kind of like decompress and figure out what's happened. Just to recap the top 7 picks so far, obviously Mendoza went 1 to the Raiders, David Bailey number 2 to the Jets, Jeremiah Love number 3 to the Cardinals, Carnell Tate number 4 to the Titans, Arvell Reese number 5 to the Giants, Chiefs trade up to number 6 with the Browns to select Mansour Delane, and the Commanders select linebacker Sonny Styles out of Ohio State. So we've had 4 defensive players, 3 offensive players, so pretty even. And I think we all expect this to potentially be an offensive pick at 8, but we will see.
This division, though, the NFC South,
It's getting interesting.
it's interesting in a lot of weird ways because it's like I don't know if any of the teams I would consider like front runners or contenders by any means, but like you got the Buccaneers. Where are they? Have they peaked with their current regime of Baker Mayfield and crew? The Falcons have made moves this offseason. The Panthers were frisky, as Dawson liked to say last year. Are they going to take that next jump? And then you got the Saints, where like, I mean, they're there. I don't know if anyone's like considering threats in the division, but like this division out of all divisions in the NFC, like you can make predictions, but there's a good chance that by the time the season's over, you have no idea if those predictions are going to hold up or not. And I don't know. The Saints haven't been, good though, since Breeze retired or hasn't even been relevant to talk about. So we'll see what they do. You guys don't think? I guess maybe it was one of the picks I may have missed. Downs hasn't been drafted, right?
He has not been drafted. That is also definitely a possibility.
Because they need a safety, right?
They do.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he's a possibility, but you just never know where to project safeties anymore.
That's a good point.
Just taking a peek at the forecast. The forecast looks a little rough for the next hour or so. So if I lose power, just heads up.
We'll see
just
when we
disappear.
actually like end this live stream if it's by force or by.
By
We'll see.
Mother Nature.
Or if Braden just has to carry the team till me and Brock can hop back on.
I think we might be in the clear.
Listen, I'm not that far away from you, man. If you
Yeah.
lose power, I'm probably not.
We'll
exactly
switch
doing
off.
great.
Hey, I'll lose
Oh.
power for like.
Take shifts.
Oh, hold on.
Fidel's at the podium.
Yep. Pick number 8, New Orleans is going to select. I need to get the drumroll bongos going. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
Absolutely sniped
Good
that
pick.
pick.
Good pick.
Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State. This was the wild card of the draft, if you asked anyone. I mean, was it last Friday he had his private workout where he just ran some routes? And I think really finally shot up some boards. The biggest injury concern in the whole entire draft, you can make an argument he was the best receiver without the injury concerns, but what are your guys' thoughts on Jordan Tyson being the pick for New Orleans?
Yeah, I mean, really outside of Chris Olave, that receiver room was not exactly spectacular by any means. So automatically, I think not exactly great to have two injury-prone wide receiver one options, but if one or both of them are healthy, then you have your guy right there. Yeah, if injuries weren't on, if this was Madden and you turn that slider off, I mean, you could make an argument for Tyson as the best player in the draft, regardless of position. But unfortunately, injuries are a thing, and I don't think has had a full healthy season in college ever. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up translating to the pro level. But you cannot deny the talent there.
Yeah, those games that he is 100% though. If you guys haven't seen him play at 100%, just go look up some of those games, and you'll know why New Orleans took him at this pick. He's going to be a guy that potentially rejuvenates that offense even more, and maybe they can take that next step and potentially being a wild card in that division in terms of maybe even moving up the ladder a step while other teams are either taking a step back or completely falling off.
I will say with Tyson and his injury concerns, the thing that's, I guess, the bright side of it is like, other than the hamstring, none of his injuries have been like repeater injuries. He's got he had a broken collarbone, torn ACL, and there was one more like pretty serious injury. Maybe it just was the hamstring. The hamstring's the only thing that was like slightly concerning because like he only played like 7 games last year and still couldn't like run at the combine, which was somewhat concerning for teams. But when he's healthy, dude's an absolute monster. Like, he has the ceiling to be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. But again, it will all just come back to how healthy he can stay. So, any other thoughts on this pick before we move on to pick 9, which that team already has the pick in?
Every time they show Jordan Tyson on this on screen right now, he is like bawling his eyes out, which good for him, man. This is, especially with, like we've been saying, the amount of injury history that he's had to deal with to get here. This is big for him. I wish I had the audio on for this because I know this soundbite's about to be legendary.
Oh yeah,
We'll be able to see it later on social media, I'm sure.
he about to go viral.
Have another Will Campbell. I'm gonna fight and die for my team.
Pick number 9 is already in. Obviously, this was the Chiefs' pick earlier in the night, but is now the Cleveland Browns' pick. Some of their moves, they traded for offensive lineman Titus Howard from the Texans, signed offensive guard Zion Johnson from the Chargers. Linebacker Quincy Williams, I think it's Quinnen's brother. I think his name's Quincy. Linebacker from the Jets. Signed Elton Jenkins, the guard from the Packers. And then their really only main loss was they lost Devin Bush to, I think, the Bears. So the Browns are one of a couple, I think 6 teams in this draft to have 2 picks in round 1. Where do you guys think Cleveland goes here? Do you think they go offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, it was either O-line or receiver pretty much from the start, and now all of the offensive tackles are still on the board, and the only really top receiver left is Mekhi Lemon, and this seems maybe a couple picks high for Lemon. So unless they want to reach for that, I suppose that's not off the table. But this just kind of feels like where Maui Noah just has to. I don't know. They already have a right tackle, and Maui Noah is more of a right tackle. If they want to move one or both to the left, I guess there's a conversation to be made there. But it kind of just feels like they were hoping that one of the receivers would still be on the board, or they were just hoping Tyson would be on the board, and he's not. So.
Offensive line, that save your quarterback, whether or not you actually truly believe that he's the quarterback of the future of your franchise. You need to save him.
The Browns select Spencer Fano,
Yep.
offensive tackle out of Utah. So Maui Noah, who everyone thought was the best
Okay.
tackle in the draft.
I was going to propose
The
that
fall
idea,
continues?
whether or not they would take that chance on taking.
Fano, I mean, he
Fano.
does have experience at left tackle, so it's not like an awful switch, but there have been concerns about his arm length, whether it's, I mean, at the combine it was questionable, but his pro day he was within the threshold, so who knows? But
Yeah, this was a guy that
he's a good guy, so.
he's versatile. I mean, if that's the bottom line, is he's able to play multiple different positions on that offensive line. Like you said, he took snaps at left tackle. He probably projects to be a guard long term. I think he even took snaps at center at one point. So
I think
kudos to
in the combine process, I think he tried out for a couple teams as center.
But nope, Fano is the pick there. And like I said, still really good players on the board. Obviously, Caleb Downs is still on the board. Maui Noah is still on the board. Reuben Bain Jr. That's the surprising one to me, because I thought Bain would have been gone for sure at this point, but obviously not. He's still on the board. The Giants, who have pick number 10, we already kind of recapped their offseason, so we'll just wait till Goodell announces that pick. But looks like he's getting ready to.
That was fast. Wow.
And there's Maui Noah.
There
Maui
he
Noah
is.
goes off the board. You didn't think he was going to be gone for long, if that made sense. Like, he wasn't going to be on the board till like pick 20. So makes sense, but
No, I mean this is the guy that I've had as the best offensive lineman in the draft for me. Getting him at 10, I like this. I've had him mocked as 3 sometimes. So
yeah.
this is a good pick. And the Giants had holes they needed to fill on the offensive line still. Like I said earlier, they brought back Illuminor, but he's not exactly young. So not a bad idea long term for that replacement. I think they still needed a guard, so maybe right now if they want to play Maui Noah at guard, and then long term maybe slot him in at right tackle, that is definitely an option they could take.
I don't disagree. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Ooh,
I was getting ready to make a comment how we've only been able to use this one once tonight. We have our second trade of draft night, and it involves the Dallas Cowboys, who swapped spots. I think they literally just swapped places with Miami. Unless
That's what
I
it
guess
looks
it
like,
did.
yeah.
If they traded pick 20 and then stuff to just have back-to-back picks, that'd be funny. But I don't think,
That would certainly be something to do there.
But
no.
Dallas trades with Miami to be picking at 11, and it looks like the pick is already in. Like, we'll go over their stuff real quick. Traded for Rashawn Gary from the Packers, signed Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals, re-signed offensive tackle Terrence Steele, traded away Osha Odigizua. Did I say that close?
Digizua, yeah.
Yep.
There we go. And then lost Solomon Thomas. I think Titans, I think, is where he signed. But
Sounds right.
where do you think the Cowboys go? I have their needs listed at D-end, linebacker, and corner, but mainly corner and linebacker are my ones you have to hammer on. But where does Dallas go with this pick?
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to make the trade to make sure that the Dolphins don't take your pick here, this is probably just Reuben Bain. They need edge rusher, so like they did bring in Rashawn Gary. I recognize that, but that is simply not enough. Reuben Bain would fill a much needed position here for the Cowboys, and he has fallen all the way to 11. This feels like a slam dunk pick.
This either feels like Reuben Bain or this feels like Downs. My eyes.
It could also be Downs. I don't think either's necessarily bad here, but
No.
yeah, it's one of those two. But I certainly lean Bain.
Defense, defense, defense. That's what they need.
You could make an argument if they're able to figure out their defense. This could be I wouldn't say a contender in the NFC, but like their offense is so good they could put up points against anyone. They just got to be able to figure out that side of the ball. Sorry, I'm getting the next stuff ready for the picks down the board, but yeah, I like just to recap some of the players that are still available for those that might be unaware. Caleb Downs is still sitting on the board. Reuben Bain, Mekhi Lemon, Kenyon Sadiq, Monroe Freeling, Jermon McCoy. The funny would be Caden Proctor, but that's just not going to happen as much as funny as that would be. But
Oh, I just saw it pop up. Cowboys get number 11. The Dolphins get number 12, 177 and 180.
what is that? Late 5th rounders, early 6th rounders?
It's somewhere in that range, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably 2 compensatory picks.
But I think Dallas is probably going to do this just to make sure they get their guy.
Yeah.
What a fun and entertaining draft so far. We've had plenty of surprises, like I said. I didn't think any of us thought 2 receivers would go in the top 10, and it happened. So
I definitely thought it was possible that Tyson would make it to the top 10. It kind of just depended on how teams felt about his injury chances, and it only takes one team to be like, hey, we trust him to be healthy long term. We believe in the talent. We're going to take him. And that looks like it happened.
do you think this is when we see a potential run on offensive linemen? Not with Dallas per se, but like because we
Not
last 2
necessarily
picks
with
were
Dallas,
O-line.
but
Like-
yeah, I definitely think a lot of the top guys, like you look at number 12, number 13, 14, those are all even 15. Those are all very possible offensive line spots for me. I could absolutely see some of the top guys starting to go here quick.
Just can't wait to see where my boy Caden Proctor goes. Like you guys said, 2-time Iowa Hawkeye.
Hey, if the Cardinals want to trade up for him, I wouldn't be like completely upset about that, especially after what they did earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, Proctor's more of a left tackle than he is a right tackle. You
Yeah,
already
that's
have Paris
true.
Johnson.
That's true. Well, I mean, he's like a tight end fullback, like pretty much.
Water boy. He's
He
whatever
does. He does everything but play for Iowa. That's pretty much what he.
Yeah, pretty
he's
much.
no-
Hey man, I've been on the record to say this. He only transferred to get women's basketball tickets because that was
Hey.
the last season. Caitlin Clark. I respect it.
I respect the
Tickets.
hustle.
I was a student. Tickets were going for like $250, $300 a pop in the last few weeks. So I respect it. Certainly wasn't going for the men's team. I'll tell you that much. Not in that era of Iowa.
Not a big Wieskamp guy.
Wieskamp wasn't even on the team when Proctor was there.
Really?
That was like.
Was
Trying
he
to think.
not
that
there
was,
for 4 years?
No, he was like 3 years. He was the same draft as
Oh.
Garza. He was a 2021 NBA draft pick.
Garzilla.
Garzilla. Which I guess is a good time to bring up. To all of our live viewers out there, if you want any NBA content, tune into the Hardwood Convos, where we are trying to get a post up every single week with the playoffs here.
Yeah.
First round has been really entertaining thus far, so make sure you tune in, you listen to myself, Brock, and another co-host, Hunter Rose, talk some NBA ball. So
Yeah, Dawson and I pretty much just lob it up to Hunter Rose, and then he just goes on his little tangents. Which
I'm
Braden,
Chalmers, Brock's Cole, Hunter's James, and he just throws it down on Jason Terry.
Why did I have to be the guy that comes off the bench?
I don't know. It just happened. It just happened that way.
Like, jeez, like, and why'd it have to be Norris Cole? Could have been like Mike
Why
Miller,
couldn't
the
it
guy
have been
that
Norris
can make a
Cole?
three with no shoes on or whatever.
Norris Cole. Dude,
Shout out
don't
that
be dissing
one
Norris
Jay
Cole.
Farrow SNL
Shane
clip.
Battier.
Was it Game 7, 2013, Shane Battier, where he had like 8 threes. He had like 5 or 6 threes.
Exactly. Every once in a while, I'm good at takes, but like outside of that, don't expect much.
All right, fellas. Cowboys are getting ready to announce their pick. The Dallas Cowboys select Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a possibility.
Yeah.
How far are these arms about to drag Ruben Bain down the draft right now?
It would be kind of poetic if he stays in Miami. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
It would be kind of cool. Jalen Phillips got traded halfway through the year. They do need an edge rusher.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you want
that's-
to put butts in seats, keep your kid home.
Right. Could be a way to sell some tickets. So, Brock, what are your thoughts on Caleb Downs being the pick for the Dallas Cowboys?
Man, I don't know what to think about the Cowboys. They're so weird. Like,
They are weird.
I still can't believe they traded Micah Parsons. Like,
I don't think any of us can. It's
similar to the Luka Doncic trade in LA, where like every time I turn on a Lakers game, I go, even if he's
Ew.
not playing, if he's sitting on the bench,
Ew.
I go, ew, when did that happen? And then I'll
At
turn on a
least-
Packers game and I see Micah Parsons. I'm like, ew, when did that happen?
at least with like Parsons, like it was pretty well known he had disagreements with both like the front office, and
But
the Luka one
Packers-
was just out of left field. It was like
That's a good point.
you had to make sure that Shams didn't get hacked. It was that bad.
That
It
was
was like, whoa.
that was somebody taking control of the joystick in Nico Harrison's head and just not knowing how to play the game. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you were saying, I don't think it was a bad pick whatsoever. I'm assuming Miami's going to pick Ruben Bain now. Like, I don't think there's any other. If
it
you
kind
keep
of just-
falling, man, I don't know what happened.
Kansas City, do your thing. Go get him. Get him and Delane, and I will be.
Why don't you? I
I'm
guess
not
I don't
Brett
know what
Veach.
you would have to give up
I-
to do that, but
I am not Brett Veach, so I do not
Whatever
know
it
the answer to
takes,
that.
I feel like you kind of just have to do it.
yeah, because I don't think they expected him to drop this far. Maybe they did. I don't know.
Yeah. Man, they're showing highlights of Downs on the TV, and I think he had an argument over the last 2 years. He was the best player in college football. Like, he was an absolute monster for that Ohio State defense. And granted, Ohio State's had, 3 defenders already picked outside of him? Or no, 2. Just recent Styles.
Yeah, just 2. But hey, Dallas will take anything they can get on the defensive side right now.
Yeah.
I just don't know if there's anything else you can really say about it. I don't think they would have missed on the on this pick if they would have taken any defensive player that's on the top of the boards right now.
Miami Dolphins, who had pick 11, now have pick 12, and the pick is already in. We'll go through these briefly. Their only like addition per se was signing Malik Willis. Every other contract they signed, I think, was a veteran minimum. So I did not feel like that was necessary to include.
I'm doing
We're having
something
some
right
parenting going on
We are.
right here.
Oh man. But traded away Jalen Waddle, obviously. Traded away Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka Fitzpatrick's not a wide receiver. I don't know why I have that listed, but and then
now. He
obviously
probably could be if
Tyreek
you wanted
Hill.
him to. Maybe not
He
at
could be.
30, but
I misread it, and I, for some reason, was like, "Wait, Ryan Fitzpatrick was still on the Dolphins. When did this happen?" But it's got
It's really starting to rain outside. Holy moly!
if you
I
feel
think
the
I hear
need,
my sirens starting to go off. It's not as loud as I thought it would be. I think they're pointed the wrong direction.
but
But
if you guys feel the need that we need to end this at any point, feel free. I think we're
We'll
in the
see.
back, like we're in the back end currently, up here in Slater, but
Yeah,
uh,
we'll see. We'll cross that bridge if we get there.
there ain't gonna be no bridge at one point.
as long as
Sure,
I
the
got
bridge
lights
will be
on,
gone.
I'm here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the pick's gonna get made here.
Yep. Miami Dolphins will select the funny
The funny at 12.
No.
They
I
took
don't
the
care that
funny
this-
over keeping the kid home.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. That's
not from Toronto,
hilarious.
Canada, from Southeast Polk, Iowa.
From
Left tackle Caden Proctor
from
is a
Pleasant
Miami
Hill,
Dolphin.
Iowa.
Wow.
I hope
Wow.
when they do the like, if Miami ever gets a Sunday night football game, he goes Caden Proctor, Iowa for like Alabama to Iowa for 2 days, back to Alabama. That like he's got to do something like that. Poke the funny at Iowa fans. Resident of Iowa City for 1 month. That's
Again,
what, if he said that,
Respect.
I would.
He just
die.
wanted women's basketball tickets. Hey, nothing against the guy for that.
Caden Proctor, courtside at Carver.
Courtside at Carver. That is the one. That is the one.
Oh man, this isn't really a shocking pick because it sounds like Proctor's been climbing up draft boards like the last month.
Could
But
have done it like a
13.
long time ago to protect your quarterback.
Or not-
Now
not
you're
even
going to
13.
protect your quarterback. I guess you
Pick
just signed
12.
someone.
is crazy high, and I'm starting to come to the realization that you guys might be very unhappy if the Rams select Mr. Ruben Bain at pick 13.
Don't he?
I think we
It's
even
gonna
talked
happen.
about. I think we
It's
even
gonna
talked
happen.
about this idea or something like that last week, where when we did our mock draft, someone was
Yeah.
still available at one point. That was an edge rusher. I think it may have been him.
Just to preface, the people still available. Ruben Bain, obviously, who we keep bringing up because he was a projected like top 8 pick and is still on the board at pick 13. Mekhi Lemons, Kenyon Sadiq still, Monroe Freeling, and so on and so forth. But any other thoughts on Proctor getting selected by
What-
the Dolphins? That
I guess when you finally when you move on from Tua and you pay a quarterback that hasn't played much, yeah, you need to protect him, I guess. But like, I feel like
There
The
were
argument
better
about-
options on the board.
Miami, exactly, and then like the idea that Miami hasn't really done much. It seems like to try to protect Tua for all these years, and now they want to start protecting someone.
right. No, certainly crazy. I don't think any of us have this.
That jersey is not fitting on him. The one that Roger just handed him. I know they're not to like wear or
Right.
whatever, but like that looks like a youth
That
small
that
on him.
might fit around his right leg.
Yeah. The next team already has their pick, and we're going to talk about them briefly. The Los Angeles Rams. They traded for cornerback Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. They signed Jalen Watson from the Chiefs. They didn't really lose a whole lot in offseason. They lost Roger McCreary, Tutu Atwell, and like Kobe Durant. So like nothing like that they couldn't replenish in the draft. Obviously, they had 2 first-rounders at one point, but then traded pick 29 to Kansas City. Where do you think the Rams go? I have their needs as like corner, DN, and then like tackle, but I've heard wide receivers are also an option. Where do you guys think the Rams could potentially go?
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are in one of those fortunate spots where they can kind of just take whoever they see as BPA. I feel like consensus kind of has that as Ruben Bain at this point. If they want to go for, I mean, Bain kind of just is a position of need as well because, like, Byron Young is good, but I guess I don't really know who their other.
But if you could
edge
get
rusher
Jared
is.
Verse and Ruben Bain,
Jared Verse, how did I forget about Jared Verse? Yeah, I mean,
They
Yeah.
really could not have walked into a better situation.
They
for this
really
for-
couldn't have,
for this
man.
pick.
the
could
only
pick
way this
any
could have really
position.
gone better for him is if like Fano was still on the board.
has any team outside of I guess even Miami didn't really even reach that much because Proctor was getting mocked higher and higher and higher as the weeks going on. No teams really reached that high. I mean,
Arizona
unless-
took a shot.
Yeah, but Love was gonna-
Love wasn't exactly a reach at 3.
Yeah, it's just
Maybe
we
8
grew up
at
we grew up
4?
never seeing running backs getting taken in the first round,
Like,
and I
even
know
Tate
that
at
era's
4
over,
was,
but
Yeah, I don't feel it, other than maybe 2 or 3 positions. I don't feel like. Honestly, I feel like the biggest reach here is Delane at 6.
probably. Yeah.
yeah. I
And even then, I would argue that it wasn't that big of a reach.
No, it's not egregious.
there hasn't been anything where I'm questioning what the team is doing or whatever it may be.
Every year,
I-
there's one team that just does a what the heck
Jets?
moment. Yeah.
It feels like the top half of this first round was going to be, I won't say chalk, but who's going to go in the top half. It feels like the back half. You're
This
going to
is
see a
where it
lot
gets
of madness happen in this back half, I feel.
That's the fun part. The back half of the first round is so fun to watch because you really don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes players
You get your Cole Strange at 29s. That's
Yeah.
we were saying that guy at 108 or whatever.
Yeah.
Thinking he'd be there.
you get teams that trade up for someone that they're not sure is a gem or not, but they needed the position so badly because their franchise needed it desperately, and we'll see if we'll see if it works or if it doesn't. Oh, is Dawson going down?
Potentially.
All right,
All right.
sounds good. We're gonna keep going here. I think Dawson might be moving his stuff downstairs, or he's just gonna hop off.
He'll be back in a little bit.
Yep. So we got the Rams, and I mean we've had the graphic up here. Oops, it's been a while since I've ran this. I
You
hate
run
that they
hard with
have.
combos.
Yeah, I know. I hate that they have this good of a pick because they were just in contention for a Super Bowl run last year, and now they're going to be able to get potentially Ruben Bain on the defensive side of the ball, if not an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean this is probably either Ruben Bain, Mekhi Lemon, Monroe Freeling, maybe.
It is the first time though. It seems like at least I'm not as invested in the Rams, so I don't read a lot of their stuff that gets posted about them. This is the first offseason in a while they haven't been well, is it time to start thinking about years without Matthew Stafford? Because it seems like the last couple years were well, how hurt is he? Is he going to be out for a certain amount of time, whatever it may be, all that stuff. But, this is the first time I haven't really felt that there's been much talk about Matthew Stafford's future in LA. Is it refusing to change it?
It just
Yeah, I
won't
guess.
go.
I don't want to be the center. Let me move.
I think we're all trying to move it at the same time, and it's really getting mad.
There we go.
Yeah, there we
That
go.
works.
There we go. And guess what, fellas?
Right on time.
There
Right
we
on.
go.
God,
Next
I
time
am
I will not
looking
drink a
forward to this.
32-ounce pop while doing this because that was miserable.
Oh my gosh, do you do the styrofoam cups like Papa?
Oh, of course I do, dude. These are
course you do.
perfectly good. They don't sweat. All right, 1 sec. The Rams are selecting. Cue the whoa!
What? What? I was literally just. There's no way you can make this up.
Yes.
There's no way you can.
Yes. Yes.
There's no way you can make this up.
Ah.
I was literally just
Hey.
talking about how no one has talked about the idea of moving on
I
from
mean,
Matthew Stafford.
He's probably not coming back after next year. They're not going to have a pick at top 13 to get one of the top guys in next
Dawson,
draft
you're
class.
gonna have to clip this. You're
But,
gonna have
like-
to clip this because I
I feel like whoever you could have got at like 29 next year probably would have been about as good, if not better, than Ty Simpson this year at 13.
I'm
You could have
blown
had
away.
Micaiah Lemon or Ruben Bain. Instead,
This
you got
kinda
a
makes-
backup quarterback in your Super Bowl window. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you could have just traded for like a third-round pick for Anthony
I just
Richardson.
can't get over the idea that we were just like, yeah, the Ruben Bain, they're gonna beef up that defense. And
I was literally like, right as we were about to announce the pick, when you were talking about like, oh, we're not talking about replacing Matthew Stafford. I was about to say, well, they're not the Packers. They're not just gonna sign the reigning MVP's heir apparent with a first-round pick during the Super Bowl window. I guess not.
I'm
Man.
lost for words, dude.
Hey, Jordan Love's good, but
We
like this is
we
an
had literally
insane
just
first
made a
pick.
comment like, "Hey, no one's been like a super big reach. Like even Proctor wasn't crazy." And then the Rams
And
were
then
like,
Ty Simpson
"Watch
at
this."
13.
It's like, "Watch
Bruh.
this." Oh,
You're gonna have
my
to clip. Dawson. You're gonna have to make. A
Oh
clip.
yeah!
Wow.
When I get off tonight,
I was just hyping up Matthew Stafford, and then they just went.
I'm
out
glad
here
I
playing
took a
checkers and
break
they're
when I
playing
did and
chess.
came back. Oh my god, I would have been so miserable had I missed this moment. Oh my gosh!
The
I'm a
part,
little bit
though-
sad because I happened to look at my screen for like a quarter of a second. I saw like T and nothing else. I was like, oh my god, did they just draft Ty Simpson? Yup.
The,
So like I like quarter spoiled it for myself, but like
the
wow,
idea
wow.
that for the past month and a half, you guys have been harassing me about the idea of Ty Simpson playing for
That
my
just means you're gonna get
Arizona
like
Cardinals.
Taylor Green or Carson.
You're
Wentz.
drafting
no,
Drew Aller
no.
at 31, buddy.
It's not that he got drafted. It's the fact that he got drafted in my division. So this could either go one of two ways, and I'm not sure I'm ready to figure out which one it's going to
Well,
be.
I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was talking about retiring, so I guess they didn't have a backup quarterback. So you take one at 13. I don't
This
know,
feels like
man.
when the Packers took Love, but like way more egregious.
yeah.
I literally, what's going on in LA? Like, this seems bigger than it like. I don't know if you guys have audio on the what you're watching right now or anything.
No.
I don't even know what their reactions are to this. I'm blown away. Maybe something popped up out of nowhere, but
I am finding out this is the best way to watch the draft. This is the
Absolutely.
purest way to watch the draft.
This
Phone
feels
away.
like watching like the
No audio.
2012 Royal Rumble. Like
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
you
this
just have
is
no idea who's about to come out, and then it's like you have an idea, but it's like I don't know for sure. And then boom, Ty Simpson's a Ram. All right, sure.
We got to
We
talk
ball.
about the next team because it looks like they're getting ready to pick. Baltimore is now on the clock, and they have a pick of pretty much anyone.
Ruben Payne.
Ruben Bain, Mekhi Lemon are still on the board. They added Trey Hendrickson. They signed John Simpson. They lost Draymond Jones, Tyler Linderbaum, and tight end Isaiah Likely. This was the Raiders pick, obviously, for like
For about
72 hours, and then it wasn't. So
Is that a graphic
Wow.
of their new jerseys, or is that an actual photo from?
that's an actual photo.
Okay, because I was like, I couldn't remember if those were the new ones or if that's.
No. I'm not going to lie. I made some of these like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No, this is. I forgot how much I like those jerseys. The helmet's so clean.
They're showing the Rams draft room right now. You would think they are organizing a funeral.
Yeah. There's
I don't
like
really
no-
know
on their
what is
faces.
going on.
Because every time you pan to the war room, it's like everyone's high-fiving. They're clapping like, we did it. We nailed the pick. Like, we got our guy.
They all
And then-
are clearing out.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, what did we just do? What? Why did Les Snead have the phone? Oh, hold on.
Oh.
The Baltimore Ravens select.
They're gonna slip and fall on the Ruben Bain, aren't they?
Vega Ione. Is that how you say his name? The guard from Penn State. I'm not going to say his full first name.
Ioane, I believe. Ioane.
Ioane. Okay.
That's a good
All
pick
right.
for them.
Tampa Bay
Yeah.
pick is
That
already
offensive
in.
Yeah.
The
I
second-
like this. We're moving fast. I like this. We're not going to have to be on for 5 hours then. So,
Dude, I'm literally not gonna get over this.
I
Because again,
that's
I
just
was
going to be.
This. Welcome back, Michael Penix, to the Falcons.
Yeah, honestly, that's what this comps to. But like, Stafford's way better than what Kirk is.
I'm like starting to like wonder if there's actually something wrong with Matthew Stafford. I maybe that's me over. Again, this is just pure raw like emotion. Like, did not expect this to happen, but like, is he hurt again?
Like, I do kind of understand the rationale where it's like, yeah, you could just draft somebody next year in a better QB class, but like, would you rather just give your backup a guy that doesn't have to start right away? He's a young, raw guy anyways. Let him get a year to soak in the offense, learn the playbook, learn from Matthew Stafford how to be a professional
Yeah, that's a good
quarterback.
point.
Like, I understand the rationale, but at pick 13 feels crazy.
Categories.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, yeah, good pick by the Ravens. I'm. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, everybody and their mother had Vega Ioane tagged to the Ravens
Baltimore.
just because they had to watch Daniel Falele play guard for them for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So they do deserve to have good guard play eventually.
So, sorry to all Ravens fans that are watching this. Sorry to Brock's brother Noah that could potentially be watching this. Not a whole lot of in-depth Ravens conversation right now, but we are just in
No.
absolute shell
He's
shock.
used to it when he listens to our podcasts because he's also a Sacramento Kings fan. So there's not much talk about
He
any
just
of
likes
these
the
teams
purple
on our
teams. I
podcast.
respect it.
I know,
it.
and he doesn't wear a lick of purple anywhere.
Oh man, I guess we'll move on to pick 15. It
Yes.
sounds like the pick's already in. Brock's guy Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed
so
Alec
sad.
Anzalone, Ashawn Robinson, Kenny Gainwell. Big news though, they lost Mike Evans to San Francisco. And they lost Jamel Dean to I think Pittsburgh. Where do you think that Tampa Bay could potentially go with this pick?
I mean, every team until he gets taken feels like it could be a Ruben Bain spot at this point.
Where's the horse?
Because at this point, it's almost like too good of a player available to just pass up at this point. This also could be the beginning of the Kenyon Sadiq sweepstakes.
Could be.
Just because, I mean, Cade Otton's not exactly the youngest guy anymore. You could look to improve there. Or you could even just put him out wide. You don't have Mike Evans anymore. But, I'm still flustered. I'm not going to lie.
I'm starting to wonder now if Bain doesn't go here. Like, does Mesidor go over Bain then? His teammate?
No. Mesidor's 25. There's
Again, though, we didn't think Bain was going to be here at 15.
no, but
I know it's not Miami, but it's still the state of Florida, I guess.
Yeah.
If Ruben does go.
He
As-
could go here.
Could this be a
16,
Makai
I mean,
Lemon
they
spot?
just draft. This could be a Makai Lemon spot.
Lost Mike
16
Evans.
feels a little crazy.
You don't know what Chris Godwin is anymore. I don't know. Him and Ibuka would be pretty fun.
I feel like 17 to Detroit is about as far as I could see Bain falling at this point.
Teams must
That
really
just
be
feels like-
concerned about those short arms. Like, that must be a bigger deal than we're giving it credit for. I think everyone realized what Will Campbell did in the Super Bowl and was like, no, not in the top 10. No. Holy moly. I'm still in shell shock of the events that have transpired in the last 20 minutes. And this is with me not even having Twitter open or
Did you guys
Instagram
hear
open.
that?
You
What?
sure did. Sound like your next door neighbor just got eviscerated.
Yeah, my next door neighbor does not exist anymore with that sound of thunder. Good
I
lord.
didn't even hear that because I was yapping. It
Oh.
was on me.
It sounded like you just like slammed a can on the ground
My bad.
or like shifted it a little bit.
Wow. This has been a crazy night. First
This
live
has-
stream. Tornado
Thank you to the-
warnings out the wazoo.
We
Ty
got-
Simpson goes to the Rams.
We got 30 people in here right now that are watching this, so thank you to every single one of those. What a
This is-
successful start, fellas. Let's keep this rolling the next.
This has been a blast.
Well,
This has been
we'll,
so much
We'll
fun.
see if they let us stick around here, but
Yeah.
this has been
Maybe if
been
this,
quite the start.
I would be. We'll see if we can get an NBA version of this going with Hunter, myself, and Brock at some point.
If we do, if we might have to do like a live reaction to every NBA Finals game or something like that. That would be a fun thing
Could.
to do. Instant reaction pod
Yeah.
type thing.
Mhm.
That one could be interesting depending on finals matchups.
Wow. There's
All
still
right,
really
so
good
this-
players on the board. Wow.
We'll see what the Buccaneers do here, but
Yeah.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's got Ruben Bain. It's got to be him, right? It's got to be him, right?
Ruben Bain falls to the 5th round, a la Shador Sanders.
That was such a perfectly timed. Like what that video. Nothing good job on that.
Brock, your mic's underwater.
It is.
Oh, there it is.
There he goes. All
The
right.
slide is over. Ruben Bain, officially Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
I wonder what the slide was.
What are your guys' thoughts on Ruben Bain going to Tampa Bay?
I mean, it's a great fit. They needed an edge rusher. They got arguably one of, if not the best edge rushers in the class, depending on how you view. If you're not worried about the arm length, the way that he wins against blockers, I'm not exactly worried about the arms that much. But I mean, there is an argument to be made about it. To be sure, obviously, I would assume that's why he fell this far. But no, I think he's still a heck of a talent. He will be a great pro. They needed an edge rusher, and they got one.
Tampa Bay's war room looks ecstatic for
Yeah, see, that's what a war room should look like. That's a group of happy campers right there.
Pardon
Yeah.
me if you hear a panting dog. Our dog Paul got a little scared of the thunder, so
Paul. I love Paul.
yeah, he's chilling over in the corner. So if you hear someone panting, it's him. But
I love Paul. Paul's the best.
there we go.
I need Paul's opinion on Ty Simpson going to the Rams.
Rough.
Live
Rough.
reaction.
That was great. I put that on a T and I didn't even know what you were gonna say, but that was perfect.
Oh man.
No, great pick though by them. I saw the graphic of
Oh, shoot.
ESPN talking about. I think he had the shortest arms as a first round edge rusher since 2003 or something like that.
Mhm.
Which
There
that's a crazy stat that someone found.
Anyone that's had sub 31-inch arms has never recorded 10 sacks in a season.
Maybe
I mean, again, he doesn't really rely on his arm length to
No.
win against blocks. So I'm not.
Man, home run pick by the Bucs. Like
they
truly
got
a
so
home.
lucky. It literally landed right into their lap. And
Right.
they're probably ecstatic when they found that.
Yep. Pick 16 belongs to the New York Jets. They made their first selection with David Bailey at pick number 2. Guys, where do you think the Jets could go with pick 16? I will remind you the players on the board. Mekhi Lemon, Kenyon Sadiq, Monroe Freeling, Jermon McCoy, Keem Mesidor, Dylan Thieneman are some of the top names available.
It's got to be Mekhi Lemon, right? I guess maybe it's not.
It definitely could be.
Could be him. Could
like
be
not.
any of the corners. It could be like McCoy, Avion Terrell, Colton Hood. This would be pretty high for him. But again, we just saw Ty Simpson get picked 13. We don't really know what's going on anymore. So, absolute madness in the NFL draft.
This is great. This is what this is just just cinema.
Yeah, I mean, if
I will
it
say-
is a corner, the thing is, like, Jermon McCoy has a lot of injury concerns right now. There's rumblings he might not even make it to the first round because of, like, some sort of extra surgery he's going to have for, like, a bone plug in his knee or something.
Oof.
Avion Terrell injured himself trying to run a 40-yard dash at his pro day. So, honestly, a name that I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe not at 16, but for a corner to make it into the first round, look out for San Diego State's Chris Johnson, Jr.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if maybe at like 30, 31, 32, if a team is looking for a corner at the back end of the first, I would not be surprised to hear his name called tonight.
I don't know why this just hit me. Any relation to?
Don't think so, but I mean, maybe.
I don't know if we're already to that point where we have players going into the NFL that like that are kids of players that I watched or you guys watched potentially growing up.
Well, hell, isn't like Pac-Man Jones's kid like in college now?
Oh yeah.
The New York Jets at pick 16 are selecting Kenyon Sadiq, tight end,
Oh.
Oregon. Okay.
Wow.
So now on that offense,
They already had Mason Taylor.
assuming you can
but-
keep Brees and like get him to a contract he actually wants to play for, you have
Free my
Garrett
boy.
Wilson. Now you have Kenyon Sadiq. Not a terrible core. You need one more receiver though, for sure. But moving in the
This-
right direction.
This kind of feels like, obviously, very different players, but Kenyon Sadiq here with this situation kind of feels like the Raiders drafting Brock Bowers, where it's like they already have like a solid option that they just drafted in the second round the year before
Right.
in Mason Taylor, who wasn't bad last year, just, quarterback play wasn't exactly spectacular. But they bring in a guy who's a lot more of like a receiver versus the guy that they already have as more of a blocker. I don't know. As a guy that has Mason Taylor in Dynasty, I don't exactly love it, but if you're a fan of the Jets, I do think this is a big weapon to add to your offense.
No, he started skyrocketing up boards after his combine. His combine was unreal. Like him and Eli Stowers were breaking records left and right at the combine. But Brock, any thoughts on this one before we get ready to move on to pick 17, halfway through the first?
I mean, he's a good player. I just don't really know how to assess what the Jets ever do because the Jets are the Jets, and
Yeah.
I don't really like trying to like act like I know what they're doing because I don't really know what they're doing. But
On that
again,
note-
it's still a
No, you're
good
good.
pick though. Like
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick. I don't know how it'll impact their team as a whole. Yeah, you got the Brees Hall situation, which I can't believe that he's potentially going to be staying there.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of mad. I kind of wanted Kenyon Sadiq with the Panthers. I think that would have been fun.
That
That
would
would have been
a good one.
electric.
That would have been fun. But it's okay. Panthers are probably going to draft someone that's unbelievable. But pick number 17 is the Detroit Lions. This just screams offensive line. Like, again, the offensive lineman's still on the board. They have Monroe Freeling. They have Caleb Lamu. What else? I'm missing some names for sure. Maybe that's it, actually.
I mean, I know Caden
Max-
Proctor had a lot of ties to the Lions here at 17. Obviously, that's not on the table anymore. But, yeah, I mean, like you said, Freeling, Lomu, Max Ianachor out of Arizona State, Blake Miller is an option. Even, like, if they want to go maybe a little bit high for them, but like a Chase Besantis, Emmanuel Pregnon isn't exactly off the table, but I think they probably would be better suited to find a left tackle. And that is Monroe Freeling.
Where do you guys see the Lions being right now as a team? It's crazy how quickly I feel like their window may have shut. But I might be overreacting a little bit. And I just don't know what to expect from this team anymore. Obviously, you lost your second string running back on it and your powerhouse running back in the goal line area, but you still have Sonic in terms of the duo of Sonic and Knuckles, so you're always going to have a great running back. So getting an offensive lineman will be crucial here for them because they did struggle there at times, many times this past season. But I'm not sure if I have as much, or I think I've sold a lot of my stock in the Lions in terms of their future, especially with how the NFC North seems to be quickly blowing up into a highly competitive conference division again.
Yeah, just to recap some of the moves they made in the offseason. We are on commercial break right now, so like we got a couple minutes to give our thoughts on this. But center Cade Mays, I think from the Panthers, I want to say, on a 3-year deal. Larry Borum from, oh my God, why am I blanking
Let's say
on
like
who
the
he was?
Jets, maybe like a backup from there.
Something like that. Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs signed there. They lost linebacker Alex Anzalone to Tampa Bay. And then they obviously traded Dave Montgomery to Houston. So it's the Jahmyr Gibbs show. That I think they're pretty I wouldn't say apparent, but they're letting everyone know Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get 25 touches a game next year. So the one name I'll throw out that I don't know why I've just been hearing I've seen a lot of stuff online, and granted this could mean absolutely nothing, but Keelan Rutledge, the guard from Georgia Tech, has been getting a lot of first round buzz. Maybe this is the pick here.
17?
You never know. Again, we just had Ty Simpson go at pick 13. I think all bets are
Yeah,
off.
but at least that was like, I don't know, best QB available to a team that has a 38-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I
Keelan
think it's
Rutledge,
gonna-
like I could see it, but I would probably need to see the other guys go off the board first, or maybe late in like the late 20s.
This just kind of feels like the Monroe Freeling pick, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Right?
This is Monroe Freeling. The next pick is Dylan Thieneman.
Okay.
19 week.
Did not mean to cut you off there, Braden. I apologize, but they were getting
It's
ready
all
to make
good.
that
I wasn't
selection.
saying anything important anyways.
You only say things that are
Yeah.
important.
What are you talking about? Owner of a Mac Jones Patriots jersey.
I'm not sure which one of our jerseys is the saddest. Probably the Pickett one.
Yeah. But I can kind of like get away with it because like black and
Oh,
gold,
again,
black
I
and
still,
gold.
if you don't put like tape over it and put,
Padilla.
yeah, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, you at least get like black and yellow. You can use it for Iowa. Mac Jones is a quarterback on my roster right now. Brock's just
Carson
it's just
Wentz.
a random funny
Right.
moment.
Here we go. At pick number 17, Detroit takes ooh, Blake Miller, tackle out of Clemson.
Okay.
Miller, very experienced. I think he started like 50 plus games at Clemson. He started like a crazy amount. He's one of those Clemson guys that like, if you would have went to the draft last year, he would have been a top 10 pick. And then every Clemson defender or of anyone on that team just kind of like nosedive their draft stock because they were terrible this year. This just, like I said, we all were in agreement that this was an offensive lineman no matter what. But
Vikings pick is already in.
I like it, NFL. Let's keep this rolling. I'm not trying to be, no offense to everyone watching, but I'm not trying to be recording for 5 hours because that means I'm going to have to do 2 hours of clip outs at the very end of this. So
Yeah.
makes
I'm
my
going to
life
use
a
this
little
opportunity to stretch my legs a little bit. I will be right back.
easier.
Y'all have fun though.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
love that we
this-
can see his cat in the.
there we go. There
Do you know
we
the
go.
cat's name?
I don't.
We need to make like a logo with the cat in it. Like,
We should.
The cat is pretty much our like mascot of this
Spirit
show.
animal.
Like literally.
We don't
No.
really. Do you have many thoughts on this move? I mean, we all kind of thought offensive lineman. So.
Dude, I don't. Again, and maybe you know what it is. I've watched the documentaries and all that stuff. QB1 or whatever it's called, QB quarterback on Netflix. I think
Oh,
Jared
yeah.
Goff is a great guy. I just don't know if he's like.
Oh boy, hold on. Didn't even get to talk
answer.
about the other team, but all right. Didn't even get to talk about what Minnesota did, but cool. I guess.
Find your replacement for Harrison Smith.
Yeah, this is what they did in the offseason. Cool. Read it real quick. Cool.
That if they find their replacement for Harrison Smith,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Or I guess for them, it'd be great.
All right. Braden.
Oh,
in
wow.
In the 5 seconds he was gone, has already missed a pick. Caleb Banks, defensive tackle out of Florida.
They need to
Add
go
in the-
with the defensive side because I think their offense is pretty much solid. So
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
good pick
other
for
than-
them.
Other than quarterback, but no offense to Kyler. I'm talking about 9. Talking about
Oh,
9.
you're talking about 9.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
I
because
get
I
it,
think
yeah.
Kyler could make that offense fun. Talking about
Talking about 9.
Mr. Handoff.
Oh, I missed the pick. And it
Oh,
wasn't
man.
even Thieneman. What the? All right.
Nope. Caleb
Welcome
Banks.
back.
Guys, any
At
thoughts on this move?
18. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
were
that's-
thinking like maybe finding a replacement for Harrison Smith or something, but no. Defensive
Yeah, I mean, this
tackle.
felt like a surefire.
Like I said,
Thieneman
they're-
or
Their number one
Thieneman or
need for me was
EMW.
safety. And I guess D tackle I had listed, but like they did lose Javon Hargrave,
Caleb
which
Banks. That's like a.
that's
I mean,
a pretty
This kind of just feels like Donovan Jackson again, but the other side of the ball, where it's like, yeah, I mean, he's a position of need, but that felt like somebody you could have gotten the second. And Donovan Jackson
will
wasn't
say-
bad this year, but like,
I will say
Alright.
with this like back end of the first round, it sounds like a lot of teams had like 20 different guys rated so similar that like one team might have a guy like 18 like this, and that same guy on a different team might be like 40th. So that's why we might see some like, I wouldn't say reaches, but like whoas. Not quite, doesn't get the Bill Simmons woe. It's not only the Ty
grabbed the
Simpson
drink
move
and
has
I
gotten
forgot
that.
There's nothing that will be there. I will go on record right now, at least for the first round, because I don't know if you guys are going to stream the other nights. I won't be available for work, but
Well, we'll see.
if maybe if
See,
something
I gotta
like
work tomorrow,
Blockbuster
too, so we'll-
happens,
Yeah.
but I will go on record right now saying I don't think we'll see anything the rest of the night that will make us react the way that Ty Simpson going to the Rams
We'll,
made us feel.
we'll see. We'll see. Ladies and
what
gentlemen.
even could possibly be comparable to that?
The Cardinals
who's on the
trading
clock?
with the Rams for Ty Simpson
Uh,
is destiny. Oh, here it comes. It's time for the
Frisky
Panthers.
The Frisky Panthers.
Dawson's been waiting longer. He's been looking all
I've
day.
been more excited about
just for
this
this.
pick, and
Yeah,
I've been more stressed out about the Chiefs pick, no doubt. But this is one I'm like, dude, I'm really curious to see who they get.
look at that
Carolina,
record: 8-9, first in the NFC South.
gross,
Disgusting.
gross.
Just
Um,
disgusting.
They spent a lot of money this offseason on defense. Signed Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd. Signed, this guy, Kenny Pickett. To
I love that
to a
made the
one-
graphic.
Well, when I knew I was getting that jersey, I'm like, I had to include him any way I could. Had Carson Wentz or Mac Jones made a move, they would have been on any of the graphics too. But no, their big needs. I think Sadiq would have been awesome here, but wide receiver for sure. Although they have went wide receiver in the first round the last 2 years with Xavier Legette and then Tedderone McMillan last year. What do you guys think? What position do you think they'll take at pick number 19?
I mean, Thieneman is on the board. That wouldn't be a bad fit. Mekhi Lemon wouldn't be bad either, because I mean, Leggett has not panned out at all. Why am I blanking on his name? Ted McMillan has been.
Yeah.
He was really good. Obviously, he won Rookie of the Year, but they definitely could still use some help in the receiver room. Really, the board is not falling that bad for them here. Even if they wanted to go like Monroe Freeling or any of the tackles, that wouldn't be a bad option either.
I mean,
Like, there's
Mekhi
not a
Lemon
ton of-
is just sitting there.
He is still there. That would be nice.
He
But at this
is.
point, I kind of just want him to stay on the board so the Niners can take him at 27. That would be
You guys
ideal.
need to stop taking receivers that I like. Please.
Hey. Stuff happens,
Yeah,
man.
this just kind of has to be a receiver or like safety, like Thieneman or EMW.
Mm-hmm.
Like receiver wise, it could be Mackay, Boston, Cooper, Concepcion. Those are really the other guys that could go round one. But looks like the pick is getting ready to be made, fellas. So
I just had my lights flicker during that.
I-
That was
Same.
I had
scary.
same. All three of our lights just
That's
flickered.
crazy.
Carolina Panthers select. Good soundbite. Okay. Monroe Freeling, Braden's guy. Tackle out of Georgia.
I mean,
Got to protect Bryce
I
Young.
did say Monroe Freeling wouldn't be a bad pick here.
Yeah.
I mean, Taylor Moton is, 33 years old at this point? He's getting up there. Ike Ekwonu got hurt in the playoffs. They did sign Rasheed Walker, so they have a bit
Yeah,
of a
but-
replacement there.
I think they only signed him for like $5 or $6 million. He wasn't.
It was like a
crazy big
1-year
signing.
deal.
Yeah, so they're not like that financially committed to him.
Ooh,
But
trade. Cowboys have traded this pick to
Hey,
the Eagles.
hey, wait. Jesus.
You can still
Wow.
play the video.
Play it again.
I did. Put it again. No. All right, let me. Gosh darn it! This is what happens when I'm not prepared.
Wow.
I'm gonna get the
I
Eagles.
do
one
love
right.
it. There's something about when like divisional rivals trade with each other that's just like, ooh, interesting for some reason. But I don't.
Well, I saw the return up on the screen and I didn't notice it in time.
Where's the?
It was in like a couple of day 3 picks, I think.
Oh, okay. Huh. You know what? I think they're gonna go Lemon.
You know, it might be.
I think it makes too much sense.
They
with everything
jumped
that's been going
Pittsburgh
on.
to take Lemon.
I think they're going Mackay Lemon.
Pick number 20, the Philadelphia Eagles will select. Yep, you guys nailed it. Mackay Lemon.
Yep.
It made too much sense. Once I saw the Eagles, I was like, wait, there's got to be a wide receiver? Yeah,
The writing's on the wall. We all know what this means then.
it's pretty much official that AJ Brown is not
Yeah.
going to be Eagle.
AJ Brown, you are a New England Patriot.
Yeah.
Do you by chance want to wear number 10?
No, that's Drake May. Can't do
Oh,
that.
I guess it is.
I mean, they could work something out. Maybe, I don't know.
No.
I feel like I'll just take 11.
But no,
Mackay
I think
Lemon.
it's great. That's a great pick for Philadelphia, honestly.
Yeah. Braden, you said you had the trade compensation. What was that for moving from
I
what,
had
pick
it, but I lost it.
24 to pick 20?
Hold on, let me
I'll
just
see
see
if I
back
can
and
find it,
news.
too.
Probably DraftCast, perchance.
Say,
Eagles receives 20. Dallas receives 23, 114, and 137.
Yep.
Lincoln Riley, wide receiver, going to a former Lincoln Riley quarterback. Not that like matters or anything, but also those steel signs that they made for every team that's in that like little hallway.
Those are cool.
So cool. Where can I get me like one? That would be so cool to have.
I think it's so cool that when a player gets drafted that's in like the green room, they like touch the logo as
Yeah.
well. I think that's so cool.
Mhm.
But
Are you guys pro? Like, do you prefer all the star players like being in the green room, or are you kind of like don't really care?
I think so, because then you get cool moments when they're interviewed on stage. Like that. I can't wait to see what Jordan Tyson ended up saying when he got selected by the Saints. Like it's like these guys dream of this moment their entire life. And yeah, I understand you want to hang out with family when you're like in this moment, but like,
Yeah.
man, that's got to be an unreal feeling being like, I get to walk down and have my name selected, shake the commissioner's hand, have my jersey. And it looks like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, they do like a Tops Now card that the guys
Yeah.
are signing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
One-on-ones. I'm pretty sure.
That's awesome.
I don't think they get to keep it though. I think they put.
No, I think that'll
they're
just
gonna
go
put
straight
those in
in packs.
packs. Which, if I was a player, I'd be like, "What do you want for it?" I literally would be like, "What? Like what? What do I need to pay you guys to be able to get that?"
I didn't even get to pull up the Eagles offseason thing because they just decided to take their pick in literally 30 seconds. But they signed Marquise Brown, Tariq Woolen, re-signed Jordan Davis, and then obviously lost Jalen Phillips, and then Nakobe Dean, I think, went to Vegas. Is that sound right? So,
Yeah. And AJ Brown in 3 months.
yeah, not even. But
Not even. Like a month. and a
pick
half.
number 21, this team has 50 seconds left, so they're using all their time, is the hometown team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their moves, they traded for Michael Pittman Jr., signed Jaquan Brisker, signed Rico Dowdle, lost Isaac Suomalo, and then lost running back Kenneth Gainwell. Guys, where do you think Pittsburgh could potentially go with this pick? I know I have quarterback as team need, but they're not going to take a quarterback at 21. But
No, I mean, this, like, tackle definitely is a possibility. I suppose if they want to replace Sayamalo, there's a couple pretty good guard options still available. Otherwise, I don't really know. This has not been exactly a great fall for them. They definitely hate that the in-state rival team stole Mekhi Lemon for them at the buzzer. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure they would have loved that. Maybe Casey Concepcion.
no,
It could be
Not
a
allowed.
shout here.
not allowed.
He's not making it to 29, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
And you don't know that. You do not know that.
BMW, would they go defense?
Could be one of the safeties. Man,
Could
all right,
be.
looks like, fellas, it looks like Goodell is getting ready to walk up. Maybe not. Maybe I just got clickbaited.
They're probably doing a big thing because it's the hometown team.
Oh, they are. That silly towel.
Bro,
Actually,
just wanted
no.
to
That's my
flex
team
the
right now.
thing
That's
he
the
made.
team.
Yeah, look at you. I don't know who that was on the screen.
I don't either. I will say the top 5 players available according to ESPN are all on defense. 2 corners, 2 safeties, and then 1 edge player, Akeem Mesdor. So,
It's what the Steelers love to hear because they love defense.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, they really are like.
They're really dragging this on, huh?
I don't know if they're like doing a whole. They got to be doing like a whole like
Special or
performance
something
of
like
some-
that.
Yeah. That okay. Now it does suck that it's on mute because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
They got like a whole concert going on right now. What is happening?
For any live viewers right now, drop a comment if you're
Yeah,
enjoying
let us
the
know
stream.
what is
favorite
going
picks
on
so
right
far,
now.
craziest picks so far. Let us know. We'll certainly give our feedback from it.
I can't wait for when we do this in a couple years and I get to wear a Ty Simpson Los Angeles Rams jersey.
Can't wait till next year I can wear a Sam Darnold Panthers jersey. That's all I want.
Ooh, that would be good. Yeah, Josh Rosen, Miami Dolphins.
Ew.
I was thinking how disgusting I could get.
That's
Y'all
pretty
y'all
gross.
gonna make me wear a Jimmy Garoppolo Raiders jersey, aren't you?
I wasn't until now. I was gonna make you wear like a CJ Beathard Jaguars jersey.
I would wear that,
That would
with
be
pride.
sick.
First of all, there's no way you can just find that. That does not exist.
I have my ways.
DHgate, like, maybe. Probably not even.
I know, like, I'm not even joking when I say this. Unless something has changed in the last couple weeks, I know someone that is on the Jaguars staff.
Are you going to have them custom make me a CJ Beathard jersey
If I can
for
find a way
that
to
purpose?
do it, yes, I'd pay for it. Did you find one, Dawson?
Thought I did. Gosh darn it. Oh, I already did the pick is in thing, so I'm not going to do it again. But
Yeah, the pick has been in for like 10 minutes.
I know, they're taking their sweet time. They better let Jerome Bettis snap this pick if he's just going to stand there.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Cool. The boss. At pick 21, the Steelers will select. Drum roll, please. Where's the Broncos at?
Don't play the bongos. Don't
I'm
play
not
the
going to play the Broncos.
I'll play the bongos.
Taylon Green, quarterback, Arkansas.
gosh.
Oh man.
Might as well
That would be
just
something.
try to
Drew
get-
Aller, quarterback. Penn
Oh
State.
my God! Keep him in Pennsylvania.
Jalen Daniels, Kansas.
Okay. The offensive linemen are starting to
Okay.
fly off the boards.
They are. I'm getting nervous about. I'm not gonna lie. There's gonna
Yeah,
be
Brady.
nobody left.
Outside of Lamu, who's the other
Ain't much.
first round tackle? We are of course referring to the Steelers selecting Max Iachinor.
Ian Achor.
Ian Akor. I'm just
One of
gonna
them.
say his first name,
Max.
Max, and then you're gonna say his last name. But he
Max,
is going
Arizona
to the Pittsburgh
State
Steelers.
guy.
Yeah, big tackle that only has played football for like 3 years. It sounds like, but
That's crazy.
yeah, that is the one thing I do know about him is he's only played tackle for, I think, since his senior year in high school or like freshman year of college. So, got 2 Arizona State guys that have already went, so that's kind of cool. But any thoughts on this pick before we move on to the next pick?
I mean, it's a solid pick.
Oh, they're showing
I think-
highlights. Oh, I like that highlight. That's a fun one.
Oh,
That
that's
dude,
fun. I don't like that one at all.
I don't even care about like the fact that it is against Iowa State. That game, anytime I see any photo or any like
Shout
video
out
of
Jeff
it,
Sims.
it triggers so much PTSD. Like that was the worst game I have ever like. I did not have fun the entire like at all. Like and that is even like the Ben Bramer injury. Like literally was the worst I've ever.
Brock's swimming right now. You're underwater, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what's with my mic. I don't know if it's
It's like when you
Mhm.
back up and you're like back here, and then you start swimming. Well, the next team is pick 22, belongs to the Los Angeles Chargers. They made a couple moves this offseason.
Is my mic back?
Yeah, you're good.
I don't
Signed
know what's
Tyler
with my
Biadasz
mic. I might
from
need to get a new one.
Commanders, Charlie Kohler from the Ravens, Dalvin Tomlinson from the Cardinals, re-signed Khalil Mack, and then obviously lost Odafe Oweh. This kind of just feels like offensive lineman or receiver. Are you guys in agreement with that? Who do you have in mind for either of those? I mean, obviously, Caleb Blamu is still available from Utah. Receiver-wise, there's Denzel Boston, Omar Cooper, KC Concepcion. Any of those guys you think will work for this pick, Braden?
I wasn't listening. Someone made a comment about the cat, so I got a shout out. The cat, her government name is Pumpkin, but I just kind of like call her Cat. But
We gotta
she
find
is
some
awesome.
like
if not very annoying when I'm trying to do things.
we gotta get like
But
some like graphic
appreciate the
designer
shout.
to like design a logo with
There we go.
the cat on it.
Okay.
Official mascot.
One of these times we just have to like clip. None of us are saying anything when the cat just screams. We have to make that like a sound effect or something.
There we go.
Instead of the panther meow, instead of the panther growl, it says ow.
Meow.
Anyways, yeah, this probably just is Caleb Lomu, and I'm gonna cry because I really need him to be in San Francisco.
Hey man, you got Trent Williams for one more year. There's no reason to get a line.
Yeah, so we can go bully fifth string corners 20 yards downfield and get penalties for us. Lovely.
Pick 22, the Los Angeles Chargers select.
Oh, your breath smells awful.
Wow.
Ugh.
Mesidor. Okay, we were
Okay.
not even on the radar. Okay. I think the only thing that everyone knows about Mesidor is he is like extremely old. He's older than like every single prospect. I think he's this year's Tyler Shuck. And to be fair, Tyler Shuck kind of balled out last year, second half of the season. So, but
Yeah,
and
Mesidor is a
Ruben
big
Bain.
guy you pick when you think you're winning right now. Which,
And
to be fair,
Chargers-
Chargers aren't far away from that.
they finished second in that division. So,
You gave me hope, so I had to look up his age, and I'm still older than him by like a couple months.
but he's gonna be like 26 when the season starts.
Yeah,
bro.
he'll be 25 for the season. He was born in
I don't know why-
2001.
Oh, gotcha. That's actually not as old as I would have thought.
He will be 30 years old by the time his 5th year option comes up. That's like
Wow.
That's
the
the-
entirety of his prime.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like when you think of old players getting drafted, I think of like Brandon Whedon when he got drafted at like 28 by the Browns. Or I guess
Let
last
me
year,
tell
Tyler Shuck.
you about the most random stat I have heard in the last 2 weeks. That Iowa State Oklahoma State game from 2011, combining those rosters, Iowa State has more offensive starts and offensive snaps in the NFL. Not offense, official starts and official snaps in the NFL than that entire Oklahoma State roster, which is crazy when you look back at who was on that roster and how like dominant they were for until they came to Ames. Shout out
Shout
Clutchio
out Brandon
Simley.
Whedon.
Yeah, shout out Brandon Whedon, Justin Blackman,
Justin Blackman. What could have been?
whoever the kicker was that missed it.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Now we
Next
got the
pick.
Dallas Cowboys again.
We do, yeah. Pick 23. They traded back with the Eagles to have the selection. Again, we went over like their needs. They took Caleb Downs with their first pick. So, best player available right now is Jermon McCoy. So you could get him, but he's got like serious injury concerns. Dylan Thieneman, but you already took safety. You can't take Emmanuel EMW. Avion Terrell. I mean,
Is this ever like a CJ Allen spot? Or like Jacob Rodriguez
be.
even? I've heard
Yeah.
buzz there.
You
the
mentioned
thing
about
with Jerry
picking
Jones is you
between- Go
can't
ahead.
count out O-line.
Yeah,
He loves his offensive linemen.
I think you mentioned before we started that Pickens might get traded, or potentially, and if they take a wide receiver here, that would be interesting.
Yeah, there's still some really good ones on the board. Boston's still there. Cooper's still there. Concepcion is still there.
Got that
Outside of
Texas
that-
tie.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really going to... If you take Zachariah Branch in round 1, I guess that's a choice. But
At what point do you think the Raiders consider trading back up to just take Omar Cooper to pair him with Mendoza?
I haven't even thought about that. Why?
Think
Why
about
haven't
like
they?
Cool.
when the Jags traded up to get Travis Etienne.
the only thing is that they own pick 33, and do you just
They
take
do,
your chance?
but like, do you risk these receiver needy teams like Bills, Niners, Chiefs, Dolphins? Like, do you let those guys take it, or even like the Browns are coming up next? Do you risk those guys taking Mendoza's target?
If
Honestly,
you're the,
this kind of was the pick to trade up for, and now it's gone. The pick is already in for the Cowboys.
yeah, that's a good point. I was gonna say if there's a way that you can trade up and get them, you do it. You don't even hesitate. Like, I'm actually surprised that they aren't.
Sorry. Every time I leave, it makes me do my goofy camera.
That's why I didn't even bother leaving the stage. I just left it there, so that way we didn't have to play
Yeah.
musical chairs again.
There we go. On me. But pick is already in. They're on commercial break, so we'll wait a couple more minutes before we give an in-depth dive and see who they end up taking. But we're about a quarter left, maybe a third left of the draft. We have pick 23 through 32 left. So teams that have not picked yet include the Bears haven't had a pick yet, the Bills, the Niners, the Texans, Patriots, and Seahawks. Every other team left has already selected someone.
I can't
AKA
wait
the
to go.
Cowboys. What?
I can't wait to go back and watch some of our reactions.
The Ty Simpson one, that will be a clip out for sure.
Can you add the build up about no one's talking about Matthew Stafford this year?
It's crazy. Wow.
I hope Dallas doesn't. I guess I hope Cleveland doesn't take a.
Apologies,
I hope
Brock.
Cleveland just doesn't take a pick.
Yeah.
Their next pick should be forfeited.
Yeah. After waiting 5
Whoa.
rounds.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Spicy.
heard some buzz about Malachi Lawrence possibly making it into the first round.
Yeah.
Okay.
UCF prospect right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Home
mean,
of the 2018. Is it 2018 or 2017 they claim a national title?
2017, I believe.
Yeah.
The Frosties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Cowboys needed an edge. You can make an argument Malachi Lawrence was the best 3-down edge remaining on the board.
Yeah.
I don't hate
For
it.
sure. No hate for sure. They,
Definitely
I mean, like
injury problems, but
you made a comment that they could have went CJ Allen, which would have made sense here, but maybe they're confident they can get CJ Allen in tomorrow's picks in second and third rounds. So, no, good pick. Gonna be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about Lawrence, so I'll kind of defer to your opinion on that, Braden. But Cowboys just need everything on defense, so like
He was a little bit of hope for the UCF team that's struggled all year.
yeah. His pro comp is Jonathan Grenard, so the edge rusher for the Vikings.
which is a name that I've heard could be on
Could
the
be
trade
traded.
block.
Yeah.
At this point, not tonight. It probably wouldn't have been until day 2, day 3 anyways.
I will say, and I don't think I can emphasize this enough, some of the best parts of the draft are like when they pan to the player getting drafted. And it's just like the family. Like that's so cool.
My favorite meme every year.
Is it CD Lamb?
No, it's Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah.
The girlfriend getting way too excited, and then didn't she get dumped like a year later?
Yeah.
She thought she had it made.
Like,
She was made to work a 9 to 5 because Russ was like, no.
Russ saw that photo and went, yeah.
Oh man, my Cavaliers are gonna lose. That makes me sad. They're now
Oh.
by 17.
Did
Good
my
God.
favorite player in the NBA go off, Scotty?
Scotty is cooking. He's got 33.
Let's go, baby.
Jeez. All right.
Little
Scotty
basketball
Barnes.
snippet
I,
right there.
I love watching Scotty Barnes play basketball.
Speaking of Cleveland,
Wait.
the Browns are on the clock. The pick is in. They went Spencer Fano at 9.
Are they going to take 2 L's right
Oh, I
here?
thought you were about to spoil the pick. I'm like, dude.
No,
No, you're good.
dude. No.
Sorry, I was zoning out. No, Barnes has 33. RJ Barrett has 28. Good God.
Dude. Y'all are
Shooting
getting-
57% from 3. Yeah, they were not winning. that
Bro.
game. Oh my God.
So
They were
so
not
they
winning
pulled
that
the Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe.
This is his revenge for the
Well.
Bronto.
I did see a stat. The Cavs have beaten the Raptors in 12 consecutive playoff games. It's the longest in NBA history from one team
not
beating
anymore.
another team in a row.
Well, I
Not
mean, the
anymore.
Pistons were on the longest home losing streak or something, or just I think it might actually just be games in general.
It's home.
Home, okay.
I think it's home,
Obviously,
up
it
until
got
last
broken
night.
last night, but I think it was like
9 or 10. They hadn't won a
Yeah.
home playoff game since 2008. I was in kindergarten.
it would have been Tayshaun Prince, maybe Ben
That
Wallace
was like
still there.
the last year of like Chauncey Billups. I don't even know if Ben Wallace was still on the team.
He may have been in
I think Ben
Chicago
Wallace
by
went to
then.
Chicago at that point. So that may have
Yeah, I
just
think
been like
because he did him and Rip Hamilton both go to Chicago at the same time.
maybe.
So I feel like Rip was in Chicago for a cup of coffee, if I remember right. I could be misremembering.
A lot of players have been in Chicago for a cup of coffee.
That's true.
Brian Scalabrine.
Celtics legend
Yes.
Brian Scalabrine, NBA champ
White Mamba.
Brian Scalabrine.
His presser after they won the chip, just like saying, in 10 years, no one's going to
Finals
remember I
MVP.
didn't play. In 20 years, I might say I started. In 30 years, I'm going to say I won Finals MVP. It's like, no. All right, cool, man.
We're still like a little over 15 years away.
And
from
then that clip went like uber mega viral because he didn't realize the internet was that popular, and now it's like, wait a minute, we can just basketball reference, Brody.
I'm no 20. Well, yeah, 2038. I'm gonna start calling him NBA Finals MVP. Brian Scalabrine.
Pick 24. Cleveland. Pick is in, but again, ESPN was on commercial break, so they're taking
Pick's
this.
been in for the last 15 minutes.
Also, if you're watching this and you're wondering why we're not going to pull up the stream, we don't want to get taken down. So there you
Yeah.
go. Little tidbit of information.
I'm not trying to get squared up on by the mouse. So Disney is all right. Disney is not a company I want to take hands from.
Well, on that note,
I mean, you have to just assume that this is either like Concepcion or Boston, right?
yeah, Boston probably fits their mold of receiver a little bit more. But it is Concepcion. Good call.
His name is so awesome. For some
Okay.
reason, I think it's so cool.
The opportunity was there for Kansas City to trade up and have KC Concepcion in KC, but all-time bag fumble. All-time.
I think you guys are doing all right.
Could do better though. Certainly the most versatile receiver in this draft, in the sense that he was like the punt returner, kick returner, and like wide receiver 1 or 2 for Texas A&M last year, and is super quick. Is able to get open. Cleveland was going receiver regardless of this pick. I think they honestly would have went Tate if he was there at 6. Instead, obviously the Titans took him. So Concepcion is the 4th wide receiver taken off the board. What are you guys' thoughts on this pick?
Sanders has his guy.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. If Tate was on the board at 6, he probably would have been the pick at 6. Instead, he wasn't. They traded back to get a little bit more value, went for their guy at 9 in Fano, and just went for the best available receiver, I guess, in KCC Concepcion. Although Omar Cooper, it feels like a lot of people had him higher on their board than like Concepcion, Denzel Boston, or a lot of these other, well, not a lot of these other receivers. Receivers kind of, other than Carnell Tate, kind of fallen a little bit further than maybe a lot of guys thought here. With Concepcion making it to like 24, Omar Cooper still being on the board, Boston still being on the board.
I like
there's-
Cleveland's
there's
haul.
still,
I'm a fan of what Cleveland's done
yeah.
tonight.
This is looking great for you. And
Assuming
honestly
this is
for-
they don't trade back up. Love the haul so far.
yeah. This
Okay.
is
The Chicago Bears are now on the clock. Basically, anyone in the state of Iowa is either a Packers fan, a Bears fan, or a few stragglers, like Chiefs.
or
Cardinals.
didn't really care about the NFL until 2 years ago, and now are 49ers fans.
True. So, I have quite a few buddies that are Bears fans, so I'm really curious to see who I can make fun of them. Although I was giving him crap last year about Colston Loveland, and Colston Loveland was a beast. So he was an absolute monster for him last year. But it looks like the pick is in. So
The pick is in, but will they actually be announcing this pick until?
nope, commercial. Shoot. That's
Yep.
okay. For anyone watching right now, I want to say again, thank you for tuning in this long. Drop your favorite pick this far into the draft, and again, like the the pick you hated the most. Let's get hostile. Let's see if we can anger other fan bases. Because I think the worst one so far is the Rams.
Yeah, I think first of all, Rams fans probably already know they're not very welcome here.
First of all,
if there were
Rams
any
fans
that-
don't exist in the state of Iowa. I've never
True.
met a Rams fan.
How about they just don't exist? I don't think they do. But if there were any that happened to be here, they probably left when we all unanimously laughed when Ty Simpson was announced.
Yeah.
So you can be mean to them all you want. We will actually
Right.
we approve of that behavior.
I like what New York did. Both the Jets and the Giants, honestly. Big fans of what they did with getting the Giants getting Reese and Maui Noah, and then the Jets getting Bailey and Sadiq. Big fans of that. But outside of the Rams reaching, Caleb Banks went high. I won't lie. That was
Caleb Banks at 18 is
Agreed.
kind of crazy.
because like that was like Dylan Thieneman. Like there was no because Downs wasn't gonna make it there. That was Thieneman's pick. So it is kind of wild
Although
to see.
now that I'm looking at it, I mean, well, I guess the Bears or the Bills really could take safety. But if Thieneman makes his way to 27, I would not be mad at that either. If the receivers don't make it at this point. Which at this point, because the Bears aren't going to take a receiver, one of Boston or Omar Cooper will be on the board by 27. So I don't hate that. Lomo is also still on the board. Wow, you know
There's
what?
still good
This
players
was looking
here.
scary at 21. It's somehow gotten a lot better here.
Yeah, you still have McCoy, Thieneman, EMW, Avion Terrell, Boston, Omar Cooper, even like Keldrick Fall, Caden McDonald. Like there's still some playmakers.
I feel like Boston we probably wouldn't take because we kind of already have that in Mike Evans. But also, like, who better to teach Mike Evans light than Mike Evans, the guy?
Brock, how relieved are you that Ty Simpson's off the board? You don't have to stress about the Cardinals trading back up. Because I know right now if the Rams didn't take him, you would be stressing.
I know. I'm like bored.
You're like,
I'm not sure
It's still
what to
raining
do. I'm interested to see where all these receivers go because there's some teams on this back half that I'm like, oof, this could get interesting. See, you say that though, and then like they'll like do something stupid still.
Cade
Oh.
Klubnik, quarterback, Clemson.
Do you have any idea how much lore there is between Cade Klubnik and myself? I think I picked him to win Heisman 2 or 3 times in that sports, the first 5-on-5 podcast that we had. And all those times he just got worse and worse, and I still went, I don't know, man.
Something about him. All right. Goodell.
So
is
if that happened,
walking
oof.
We didn't even really talk about what the Bears are going to take, but it's probably just receiver, like D-tackle, right?
Probably not. I don't think receiver. Maybe
You don't think so?
somewhere on defense, though.
Okay. We were just talking about the man. Dylan Thieneman, safety out of Oregon.
Oh no, he's wearing sunglasses at night. I'm out. I'm out. I'm
I
out.
think like half the prospects have been wearing sunglasses, bro.
I know. It's the first one that like I really noticed for some reason.
I wanted him.
yeah.
I wanted him in San
Thieneman.
Francisco.
Thieneman's an absolute dog. He tested unbelievable at the combine, and he was originally at Purdue, right, and then transferred to Oregon.
I would believe that. I
think
couldn't
that's
tell you for sure.
What do you think his pro comp is? Everyone's gonna make like the obvious, like, he's Cooper DeJean, he's Jason Sewell.
He's Harrison Smith, even though he plays
Yeah.
literally the exact opposite to Harrison Smith. All right,
His
I don't know.
draft comp is Malik Hooker.
All right, I'm glad he didn't end up in San Francisco. All
what it
right, I'm
says.
cool with that.
Wow.
Interesting.
Chicago's addressed the defense for sure. Getting Thieneman. They signed Kobe Bryant from Seattle, the corner. Who else did they sign? They lost. Did they still have Nahshon Wright on their team, right? Am I just making that up?
I
They
don't
lost
think
Brisker.
so.
I do know that. So this makes sense that they
They
drafted.
lost
Thieneman.
like their whole secondary, but they all signed for like 1 year minimum deals.
They lost Byard and Brisker, so this was kind of a huge need. The more I'm thinking about it, so kudos to the Bears. Good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
Oh man.
I mean, it means you're gonna have a good wide receiver available for you guys.
yeah.
True.
Now I'm getting excited because if Boston or Cooper make it to KC, I'm gonna be a happy man.
I mean,
I'll
you
call that a
if as
successful
long,
night one.
one of them's going next to Buffalo.
I mean,
I think so.
yeah, Lomo's not going at 26. If he's on the board at 27, I have a hard time believing he's not a Niner, and I would be happy with that.
We haven't had a trade in a while.
Houston's on the
Oh,
board.
I literally
Houston
just
just-
lied. Okay, I literally was looking at my
All right.
screen. So hold on. Okay, you know me, Dawson. that
Why do I
lies.
see a Schefter alert saying 49ers attempted to trade pick 27? Don't do that.
is it?
Don't do
It's gonna be
that.
to the
Now on the
Raiders.
clock. Could be, honestly. Let me pull up the
No,
Texans.
I'm noticing 28 has not moved hands yet. They did not move 28 to get 26.
They did that earlier though with the Cowboys and Dolphins thing.
Yeah,
They
but like
traded?
even on ESPN, like the ESPN website, it's not showing that it moved.
That would be funny.
That's an interesting move.
That would be funny if the Bills just didn't get a first rounder.
God damn.
All right, I guess Houston's on the clock now, so they have acquired Dave Montgomery this offseason. They
I
signed
gotta
Blake
take my
and Chip-
watch off, dude.
Probably just did you get the pick
Nothing.
spoiled?
I did. That pick didn't get spoiled, but my night did.
Oh no.
Oh, is it the details in it?
No.
Just
it's
play it off.
something else.
Just play it off.
Yeah.
They re-signed Will Anderson to a huge extension, and then they obviously re-signed Daniel Hunter. Their only real loss was Titus Howard. What position do you think the Texans are going to draft here at pick number 26?
I mean, they did grab Wyatt Teller in free agency, but this could definitely still be like a guard. There's still decent options there with like the 3 fringe first round picks with Basantis, Pregnon, and Keelan Rutledge. Either of those could be an option here.
Oh.
Defensive tackle's also not off the board with Caden
Yeah.
McDonald.
The needs I had for them were corner, offensive tackle, and yeah, I guess corner
What about,
offensive tackle because
like,
I had Ogard.
A wild
so
card
O-line.
and Falk just add another edge.
Good. They select at pick number 26. Keelan Rutledge. Hey. Who said that name? Maybe it was like 9 picks too early, but
Who said that pick?
You're
literally
never wrong.
30 seconds ago.
Dawson, you said it earlier this week on the Hardwood Combos. You're never wrong.
I did.
Never
If you-
wrong, just early.
For the people that are watching the live stream, we did an episode of Hardwood Combos on Monday night, reacting to this past weekend's playoff games, and the Scoot Henderson stock has never been higher. I'll just say that. Scoot Henderson and Bryce Young stock have been up here. Oh, I see. Okay.
I got trigger happy.
I'm sad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, well now I can at least look at the
Oh, Braden, that's
details.
not. It's pick 27 for pick 30 and pick 90. You only moved back 3 spots and picked up a third.
Yeah, but we did need more picks, I guess, down the board. But like,
All right, Miami.
I would rather just get the
to-
guy I
make-
want now.
That makes me a little nervous for
Hold on.
your
The
hopes on getting
ESPN
one of the
thing-
wide receivers.
ESPN still has their ticker going, but like the draft stage has Miami's pick is in, so I don't really know what to make of that.
I think they're gonna go wide receiver here.
So Boston,
Think so.
Miami has already drafted Caden Proctor, obviously, which was something, and then they had pick 30 earlier, but then they traded it. So now they have pick
Okay, yeah. So
27.
Buffalo did end up trading, getting pick 28.
Yeah.
So that just wasn't getting updated.
So we're getting trades, but they're just like a couple picks.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
like
but I
minor
almost wonder-
trade-ups.
Dawson, were you hoping for a wide receiver?
I mean, right now at the board, because they don't need corner because they took Delane. Like McCoy, don't need. I mean, I
Yeah.
would take Omar Cooper. I would run that pick in. Keldrick Falk or Cade McDonald, I like a lot. Peter Woods. I mean,
Okay. I
Peter
just
Woods
feel
is a
like this
monster.
move for Miami, the move up, will almost take away at least the 2 wide receivers.
I don't disagree.
For
Dolphins
the
also
Chiefs.
get pick 138. So it's 27 and 138 for 30 and 90.
Real quick, want to shout out the 29 people that are still watching us. So I appreciate that. We're almost 3 hours into the stream.
We
still
have
29.
hovered around 30 for
I know,
like
so
the entire
My
time.
We
my
must be
number's
somewhat-
so messed up because I thought we've been talking to ourselves for the past 2 hours because mine says 0.
No, mine
So-
says 29.
Yeah, mine
So,
says
shout out.
29 and 2 likes.
There we go.
We're getting
Round of applause to
we're
the
getting somewhere, baby.
Uh-oh. The Dolphins pick is during a Taco Bell commercial.
Oh no.
Triple-double crunch wrap.
They're not going to do that, are they? Oh, you're just making the joke. Sorry.
What?
I didn't know if they were actually going to just show the draft pick. but I
No,
forgot
they
don't
won't do that
until-
tonight. They
No.
might do that tomorrow, but even then.
I feel like they save that in for like Saturday. I feel like even the day 2 picks they show.
It's like, hey, we're going to the San Diego Zoo. The Dolphins going to announce a pick. What does the Dolphins say?
Boo Aller. How funny would it be if Dominique Orange got drafted during like a orange juice like commercial?
Tropicana commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you want the funniest or like the coolest connection, Miami plays in the Orange Bowl. Is he just a Dolphin? Is this
No, I
the
think
pick?
he's a
Hold
guy.
on.
Why is it when Iowa State has like decent prospects, they always go to teams that like suck.
Suck.
And then they just
Hey, Houston. Houston's not a bad team.
that is 1 in a million.
that is Brock's playing for the Brock Purdy played in a Super Bowl, so
That's a good point. But like I'm talking like the ones that like were expected to play right away. Brees Hall goes to New York, then they double down and get Will McDonald.
really you're just talking about the Jets.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jake Knott, he got injured way early in his career, but like he got drafted to a struggling Eagles team at the time. Leonard Johnson, I think he was a Bill when he got drafted, but this is going like back to the Paul Rhodes era.
All right, fellas.
Hakeem
Who
Butler.
could the Niners have had?
Honestly, Braden, I don't want to put this fear in you, but like, if Lamu's on the board at 29, I think KC takes him.
I think he does as well.
Chris Johnson. Okay.
Okay.
Guy that was skyrocketing up boards over the last. He interviewed really well, is what it sounds like. And he's a physical 6 foot. I think he's like 190-pound corner. I think he's got like a penalty issue. Like he gets flagged quite a bit. But like, hey man, the Dolphins are in a position they just take whoever and it'd be okay. So. Unless you guys disagree. But any thoughts on this one? I will say, before you guys answer that, is it surprising to you that neither McCoy or Terrell have been selected and that Johnson was the second corner off the board?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but also the injuries definitely are a thing you got to be worried about. especially coming up to the next level, you got to make sure these guys are 100% for their first training camp. So, for a guy like Jermon McCoy, who, like I said, has severe injury concerns beyond even the torn ACL, and Avion Terrell.
Oh, sorry, Brock. Click it. Me and Brock just started spamming that button.
Spamming the trade video.
Okay.
Didn't mean to interrupt you though.
You're good. All right, Braden, finish your statement.
I don't
and
even
then-
know what my thought was, anyways. Basically, it's not the most surprising thing that the Dolphins went for security more than maybe potential. Although they
doubt.
did literally just do that with Caden Proctor, so I don't know.
Yeah. The reason me and Brock were spamming the trade button so much is because the New England Patriots are now on the clock, and it looks like they've already made their selection. So, who do you think
a lot
the
of trades in
Patriots?
this back half.
I know, yeah, it makes it exciting. Who do you think the Patriots will select? What
EMW.
position? Safety could be.
26 through 31 have all been traded now.
I think if you know they're going to trade for AJ Brown, they're not going to take a receiver here. I mean,
If they
would it be
draft a
Lamu?
receiver, I'm gonna like.
Is it Lamu?
I mean, I guess.
Ah, I was right.
There you go.
Caleb Lamu. Lamu,
Ah,
however you say his
yeah.
name.
Okay.
So the Bills trade back again. So the Bills have traded back twice now. They traded back from 26 to 28 and then 28 to 31, it looks like. So
There you go, Austin. You got your guy. I'm assuming.
well, I don't know. Brett Veach will probably just take a freaking linebacker, for all I know.
Jacob
Mark
Rodriguez,
Gronowski.
come on down.
If they take Jennings Dunker, I won't lie. I will be ecstatic. They take
I
Mr.
think you got to
Dunker.
get that jersey.
I absolutely will. I don't think they'll take him at pick 29, but you never know. You never know. What are you guys' thoughts on Lamu getting selected by the New England Patriots?
I mean, we have been saying for pretty much since the Super Bowl that the Will Campbell at left tackle experiment was like okay in the regular season, but once he actually started going against edge rushers that knew what they were doing, it did not exactly go well. So Lomu projects to, if they want to, will start day one at left tackle and be pretty solid at it.
Ditto.
No, I think after that Super Bowl performance by that left side of that offensive line, the Patriots are like, not again. We can't have this happen again.
Is that 2 offensive linemen from Utah?
Yeah, Fano was picked by the Browns at pick 9, and then Lomu was pick number 28. Yeah, pick 28. So.
All right, Dawson. You guys got a commercial, so who do you want?
Oh man. Again, either Denzel Boston or Omar Cooper would be amazing. Even Keldrick Falk would not hate that pick. I mean, the guy's gonna be 20 years old when the season starts, and he had double-digit sacks last year in the SEC. So that's a plus. And then either the defensive tackles that are still here in either Caden McDonald or Peter Woods. The only position I would really get irritated with is if they either took another corner or like Eli Stowers, which they're not going to take Eli Stowers this high. The tight end from Vanderbilt. They're just not going to do that.
So, but if you had to pick one, like you get only
Omar
one
Cooper.
player. Is that
Omar
okay?
Cooper.
I agree.
Not only is he a dog, you would mess with the Raiders. Because I'm sure the Raiders are like, shoot, we only need to like evade 3 picks, and then we can have Omar Cooper and Fernando Mendoza. So 4 picks left in the draft. Pick 29, pick 30, pick 31, pick 32. What a night it has been. We survived a tornado warning from all 3 of us, which is crazy. So shout out that. We had Had to move the
Yeah.
setups a couple times, but we made it work. Ended up getting through. I guess at this point, I think we're gonna finish the stream. It'd be kind of tragic if we couldn't, but this was a lot of fun, fellas. I'm glad we decided to do this.
This was fun. Yeah, I
This-
agree.
We'll see. I think this could be fun if we did it for like the NBA draft as well. And I like what you said, Brock, of instant like NBA Finals reaction.
Yep.
Like hopping on like 10 minutes after the game and then giving our 2 cents. I think it could be cool too. Like when I know like NBA free agency opens like at night sometimes. Not at like midnight, but at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Could do a free agency one.
Might actually
This is-
low key think about adding a Twitch account because I know there's some people that literally just join like there's like a whole just talking section or whatever of Twitch or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Might be something that we might want to add.
I think there's also like a sports category.
Okay, yeah, we
Just
might need to
random
consider
sports
doing
category.
that.
In order to keep people like the viewers up, we're just gonna have like Braden playing a game of Madden off to like on the right side, and then us three just yapping. So that way, it's like the Subway Surfers stuff. where it's
Subway
like, hey, guys.
Surfers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put me like I
Braden's
played
basically
CFP.
Braden screams from CFP where he's screaming at his
Yeah.
offensive lineman. Braden, now's the time
Yeah.
to plug your.
I mean, I guess if you want to, yeah. I mean, I haven't exactly been the most consistent on there, but usually on the weekends, I guess stream college football 26. Not exactly the most poppin' game right now, kind of in the off season, but yeah. I mean, if you think I'm funny here, I'm even more funny when I'm getting pissed off at players that don't exist. So
It's a great watch for those that haven't tuned in
yeah.
before. Even just I don't know if you still do the social media clips, but it's great.
not super often. I think I did post one like a couple weeks ago though. But yeah, no, I just started a new dynasty. I think I'm like a couple weeks into the second season.
There we go.
But yeah, I mean if you just watch Between the Hashes because I'm on there, then you'll love my Twitch channel. Or even more my YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is gonna dictate my mood the rest of the night. Select Peter Woods. Okay. Chiefs go defense.
Okay.
Defense. I don't hate it.
Something's telling me the Raiders know that they're gonna get their
Cooper?
wide receiver. Yeah,
I don't disagree.
if they didn't trade up yet, something's telling me that they're gonna end up with Cooper, which is perfect situation for them. Not to take away from what the Chiefs just did. Good pick there by picking up
The
Woods.
Chiefs needed someone on the defensive line to help out Chris Jones, and Peter Woods is his tape looks better his junior year than his senior year, but dude's still a monster. So, oh, whoa,
Click it.
oh,
Click it.
So
If
I
you
just
can't
don't get
tell-
to have fun tonight.
no,
Maybe
Like Ricky Pearsall got injured, we're gonna call it, and I just don't get first round picks anymore.
no, I guess not. I mean,
Meow.
for those unaware that live under a rock that are watching the stream, the Niners just traded their pick to the Jets. So,
How many times have they traded now? Is this their first or second? Second
hold
or
on.
third.
The
They're
Niners
second.
will get the first pick tomorrow, so they could get Omar Cooper.
Okay. I
So
mean,
I think the
everybody's
Jets
done.
will pick, assuming Cooper doesn't go in the next 3 picks. Although Buffalo is scary because Buffalo could just outright take him.
I mean, to be fair, we probably just wanted Lomo. Lomo is already off the board. I mean, who would I have even wanted us to take at 30? EMW, I wouldn't have been mad at. And it kind of just feels like we're teeing off to take Keldrick Falk.
Hey,
If
Keldrick's
he
not a
makes
bad
it to
player.
33. He's not a bad player. I don't mind Keldrick Falk. But,
he,
like,
he gets a lot of hate for.
he
for some
kind of
reason.
just is, like, less productive, younger, heavier Michael Williams. In a way. Like, not necessarily the most upside as a pass rusher, but will stop the run off the edge.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Maybe we take, like, a Cassius Howell or something.
good. The New York Jets have the 30th pick.
Wrinkle in this we have yet to mention. This will now be the third first-round pick the Jets take.
It's not the only time they've done this. They did this
is
back in
not.
2022. Funny enough,
A lot of times in 2022 today, man.
I know, dude. The Jets select. Oh, there
Wow.
it is. There it is. Man,
Okay.
it's gonna be early. The Jets draft is my favorite. I know that's because they have 3 first-round picks, but like
I was hating on them earlier.
you get
Wow.
Bailey, Sadiq, and Cooper. Those are 3 day 1 contributors. Wow. The Raiders are fuming right now. Fuming.
Well,
I
that's
guess
what
you
you
can
get
get-
for not
what's
being
the-
the one to trade up.
What's the other Indiana receiver? Elijah Sarrett? Is that his
Elijah
name?
Surratt, yeah.
Surratt,
He's
sorry.
probably more like a day 2, day 3 guy
Yeah.
from
Good
what
thing,
I've seen.
good thing they got an elite quarterback there.
Hey man. Gino.
Old Gino.
2 more picks in this first round as we're wrapping up this amazing stream. This was such a successful night. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Despite all the stuff that tried to interrupt the stream, aka the tornado watch that almost shut this down for everyone involved. But 2 more picks. The Bills are on the clock right now, and then the last pick of the night is going to be made by the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Buffalo's traded out of this pick, or traded out of their pick twice already. See a realm where they could potentially trade out of it again, or are they just going to take whoever they want here?
I feel like, I mean, you have to make a pick eventually, right? You can't trade back
I don't know, man.
the same pick 3
I
times.
don't know. And this honestly is ending way earlier than I would have thought.
Yeah, I kind of figured we were going to be on here till at least like 10:30, 11.
I know. I'm a little hungry.
I know, yeah. Brock made that comment earlier. He had to rush on to get onto the stream, but Jack's
Yeah,
Pizza.
no, that was
there you go.
That was priority number 1 for me. I had to make sure I got food before I hopped on because I knew if I had to wait till 10 p.m., I don't eat lunch until 11:30. So if I had to go
It was-
like 12 hours without eating, I would have ate my microphone by now.
It was a work from home day, so I was like,
So you had all day to eat, you just didn't?
I ate lunch. I ate a later lunch, but the problem is though when I'm sitting downstairs on the couch and I got like either a podcast or something playing on the TV, and I'm just working. Like I literally like all of a sudden it's been an hour or 2 or 10, and it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Is ESPN like glitching out? Because the draft stage says that Tennessee has this pick, and the ticker says that Buffalo has this pick. The latest trade notification ever. Thanks, ESPN. That was
Yeah,
really cool.
okay.
Okay, so I mentioned
So
it.
they
I
did.
mean,
So they did trade the same pick 3 times. Okay.
They're like, no, I
Sure.
will not make a pick.
so
You
Tennessee
can't
already,
make me.
they already took Carnell Tate at pick 4. Where do you guys think they go here? I mean,
I mean,
What was
Keldrick
their
Falk,
needs again?
maybe?
the needs I had for them here, I'll pull them up for everyone. I mean, I had running back because I thought they were going to take Love, but
Terrell.
tackle. There's no corners. There's plenty of corners still there. There's Avion Terrell
I like
and
Avion
Jermon McCoy.
Terrell.
And Colton Hood.
I kind of give a pass to a lot of the Clemson guys this year because I just think the team, like, was not gelling.
It was
well
terrible.
together. Like that. There's no excuse for that, but at the same time, like if the locker room's bad, you don't know the added things that made everything as big of a failure as it was. I still think Avion Terrell could be a good asset for an NFL team. So that's who I would pick personally.
Braden, what about you? What do you think the Titans are going to do? What would you do if you were the Titans? Is the better question. As Goodell is getting ready to announce this pick, I'm not going to do I'm not going to do the video real quick.
Yeah, I mean, Keldrick Falk, maybe, I guess. I don't
Rob
really know.
Saleh, Big Bob Saleh does like his pass rushers, so could be. I hate that logo. I hate
Maybe
it.
even like one of the edge rushers, I feel like probably is the move here.
I hate the logo, but I will say the jersey that's on the.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yep, Keldrick Falk. Okay.
I mentioned earlier he's going to be super young when the season starts. I think he's going to be 20 still, which is pretty crazy. And he had double-digit sacks last year in the SEC. I mean, not a whole lot of guys can say they did that. So, Falk is now off the board. And to close out the night, the Seattle Seahawks, I'll pull up their needs, but, I mean, I had running back, D-end, and corner. Do you guys differ from that, or do you think they're going to address something else?
No, that feels like probably the three options this could be.
You don't think they make a hometown pick?
Boston, you mean?
Yeah, just I don't think it's necessarily a
They
need.
could.
But
I mean, outside of JSN and, like, Raheed Shaheed, Cooper Kupp's getting old.
They don't really
You
have like a
Jake
go up
Bobo?
and get it type of receiver.
You could.
So I guess
I like that, honestly.
I feel
I
like
don't mind.
I know they just won the Super Bowl, but giving Sam Darnold enough people to throw to, so he doesn't have to worry about being like playing hero ball at any point, is the best thing Seahawks can do going forward.
The one that I think is, like, possible here is the other Notre Dame running back, Jadarian Price. Because they obviously lost K9, and Charbonnet's going to be out for, like, half the year, at least. So, you can't, I mean, he's the only other guy that'd be kind of close to the first round grade. Then you're in, like, the Mike Washington range, Nicholas Singleton, Emmett Johnson. Like, then you're really
At
going
that
down
point,
the road.
I'd almost probably just take like a Jonah Coleman, the Washington running back, another hometown guy.
Right.
I feel like I'd have him as probably my RB2 before. I mean, Jadarian Price isn't bad. Mike Washington tested well, but he kind of just is Isaac Garendo. So
I don't know if they go running back here.
I think corner or safety. So, like, this could be the Jermon McCoy pick. This could be the EMW pick. They lost their safety, Kobe Bryant, to Chicago, and you need someone to
It's
pair
Jerome
with
McCoy, isn't it?
Nicky Manwari. So, could be Cassius Howell too. I've seen Cassius Howell be mocked to the Seahawks.
It could be Cassius Howell.
Best thing
I'm
the Titans.
really interested to see where Niners go at 33, because there are definitely a lot of options that this could end up going.
You can't really go line like tackle. You could
No.
go guard, because, like, the next best tackle is, like,
Like Caleb
Dunker.
Kieran and Jennings Dunker. Like,
and then after that, it's a steep. And even as much as big Iowa fan I am, I think Dunker projects more to be a guard than he does a tackle. It's like Seattle's pick is in. So the last pick of round 1. I keep saying it, but this was a very successful stream. I'm very happy.
It was great.
I was nervous. I was nervous today. I'm like, I don't know how many people are going to watch, but I think we peaked at like 35 viewers across all the platforms. So thank you for everyone.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's.
And again, hopefully the clip outs will get some more attention drawn to us. But so yeah, San Francisco has pick 33 tomorrow. Arizona has pick 34. So that can get interesting.
Ian Rappaport
Yeah.
said that the Eagles traded up for Mekhi Lemon while he was on the phone with the Steelers.
That's like when like George Kittle was on the phone with the Seahawks and the Niners traded up to take him.
Bro, Howie
in that
Roseman
in that draft.
literally is the Randy Marsh meme. Literally has the wheelbarrow. I'm not going to explain the rest of the meme, but just because I would like to stay on and not get flagged. But if you know, you know.
I
That's
think you'd get
crazy.
flagged by your cousin for it before you got flagged by YouTube.
Yeah.
But you know,
Sorry.
yeah. I don't know. I'm almost more nervous for this than I will be for the Niners pick at 33 because this pick feels like it. Well, this is about to be a Booger McFarland take, but this definitely dictates where the Niners are going to go, like heavily,
well
because
yeah.
there are like.
No, that's the last time that sound will be played tonight. So
It was a beautiful graphic. You did great.
there we go. What's the one player you don't want the Seahawks to take, Braden? Because there's got to be one. You're like, dude, they cannot get him.
EMW probably. I'd want him to be a Niner very bad. Knock on wood. Yeah, if the Seahawks take EMW or Denzel Boston, probably the other one will be a Niner. If I had to guess.
So you probably want them to take EMW, right?
I mean, I would rather have EMW than Boston, just because I feel like Boston's kind of repetitive to what we already have.
All right, fellas. Seattle Seahawks, pick 32, last pick of the first round, will select da, 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 da. I still don't know the selection. He's
I think he's. Wow,
Buddy's having a blast.
that's awesome.
okay, here we go.
Wow,
There we go.
you called it.
Okay.
He's never wrong. Just early.
All right.
Jadarian
I
Price,
remember
the other
seeing...
running back in Notre
You go.
Dame.
You go.
Sorry, I'm a. Now you can go.
I remember seeing I think it was Daniel Jeremiah did a mock draft with Jadarian Price going 32nd. That was like the first guy to do it. I don't think he was able to log on to Twitter for another 3 days because he was getting cooked for it. Like that's such a reach. Why would they ever take Jadarian Price
I
at
mean,
32?
is this the same concept? Remember when the Georgia team had like Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb? Like both running backs should be crazy. Now, obviously, Jeremiah Love is like unbelievable, but Jadarian Price was good when he played too. It's not like he was a slouch, but it just made too much sense. They couldn't go into next year with no running back. Like who was the running back
What,
behind
George
Charbonnet?
Alani?
Yeah, like because they didn't sign anyone, did they? Not that I'm
I
aware of.
don't think so.
Their only additions or like moves they made the offseason that I had down was they re-signed Charles Cross and JSN. Like, so. Ladies and gentlemen, very successful live stream of the first round of the NFL draft. I won't say that we for sure will not do one tomorrow, but I would not put betting money on it. We'll see how everything goes. But
What time does the second round start?
6 o'clock tomorrow.
6 o'clock? Yeah, I'm
Think
going to
so.
put that at a solid no. I already
Yeah,
have
same here.
other commitments. for
Real
that.
quick, before we hop off, fellas, give me your favorite draft and then your least favorite draft.
I can give you my favorite, but it's not because it's a good pick or anything.
What's your favorite? No, like your the pick you think was good, not
Yeah.
because the Rams did the funny.
I
or
don't.
the
I
Dolphins
don't
did the
have to
funny.
worry about my team drafting the funny now. No, you hinted at the Jets doing a good job, which is like, I think we've talked about that a couple times. Of course, I think the last time that they like had a draft class where people were like really talking about, I don't know how many of them are still on their team because they traded Sauce.
It.
I
I
think
mean, it's
most
just
of
Will McDonald, right?
it might be. So we'll see what they do with it, but no, that one I'm interested to see what the 49ers do now, given that they traded out of the first round. Also, I do like Philadelphia finding their replacement for AJ Brown already.
Yeah, I feel the Jets is kind of like the easy answer because I mean you have 3 first-round picks. You're going to likely hit on at least a couple of them. Ruben Bain falling all the way to 15 to a team that needed an edge rusher just feels like easily the best pick in the draft for me. I did not see a world where Ruben Bain fell past the Chiefs at 9. Granted, the Chiefs ended up trading up to 6, so that ended up not really being a situation. But yeah, I am shocked that he made it that far, and I'm glad that a team that needed edge rusher as bad as the Bucks did were the ones that were able to reap the benefits of that.
What about the team you didn't like the draft?
I mean, Ty Simpson feels like the easy, haha, why would you do that? The Dolphins, I mean, I don't necessarily love Proctor at 12. Chris Johnson at 27 is not bad, though. Caleb Banks at 18 is just kind of crazy to me. Especially with Thieneman and EMW on the board. You needed a safety very, very bad. I mean, you didn't not need a D tackle, but Caleb Banks was like a mid-second round pick probably for me, and you took him at pick 18.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even able to see the pick because I was in the bathroom. So
Yeah.
easy least favorite.
Favorite draft for me, I said the Jets earlier, but the more I think about it, the Giants. I mean, you got
New York
Arvell
won.
Reese, who was supposed to be the second pick by a lot of mocks up until like a week ago. And then you probably got the best offensive lineman in the class in Maui Noah. Like, I think that's a home run selection. The one I didn't really get, or maybe thought was a tad bit of a reach, man, the Lions taking Miller over like Freeling and Lomu seemed a little high, but even then, that's not a bad pick. Maybe Malachi Lawrence is probably the one I'd be like, eh. He was like,
really. Go ahead.
and they didn't even really reach on him too much. So
Yeah, but and they also took Downs at 11, so it's not like you
Yeah.
can say the Cowboys had like a bad first round.
right, but
I didn't really have a like one where I was like really like, oh, this is really bad except for the funny. But I will also give a shout out to the Browns too. I thought the Browns did a good job with their 2 picks that they had.
I
getting
would
an
have
offensive
taken
lineman.
Maui Noah over Fano, but still love that they got Concepcion.
That's the one that I think finding a guy that can protect your quarterback and then also finding a guy that your quarterback can throw to at the same time in the same round, where also depending on his like potential, like if he reaches his full potential, arguably was the best player in his position anyways in Concepcion. So I think this could be a really good pick for them. And maybe Cleveland is making some noise in their draft classes the last couple years. Because if things continue, they could be hopefully, honestly, I say hopefully because it is fun when teams that aren't successful all the time actually do have good seasons. Like that little spurt where I know that it was against your Chiefs, and your Chiefs still ended up winning. But like that little like chance of like the Browns like actually beating the Chiefs in the playoffs. I know that it took Mahomes getting hurt and all these things for that to even be a chance. But like it's fun when those teams happen. Like the Frisky Panthers from last year, like the Lions from a couple years ago. It's fun when that happens. And so I think Cleveland is heading in the right direction, which is crazy to say given all the things that have happened this last decade for their franchise.
Last thing, Braden, your Niners are picking at 33, and Brock, your Cardinals are picking at 34. Give me the player that you would like each of your teams to take, and then we'll close this off.
I kind of already mentioned either Denzel Boston or EMW. Either one of those, and I will be happy with it.
Brock?
I'm worried that the Buda Baker era is going to be coming to an end soon, because I keep hearing rumblings every offseason that he may or may not want to come back to Arizona. So that might determine the future of that, depending on the pick there. There's a bunch of corners still available. Pretty much, if you can get someone on the defensive line, that'd be great. Maybe someone to replace Calais Campbell in his really, really old self. I don't know. Maybe even reach and get. I don't remember how to say his last name, but is it Chase Basantis from A&M? Get another offensive lineman on your roster that you could potentially build around, especially now that you have a running back that I think actually will be able to produce for the team on a consistent basis, hopefully. But yeah, I don't think they'll make any moves or whatever, I think. So maybe Terrell McDonald from Ohio State's who I'm looking at, or as well as the offensive lineman from A&M, Chase Basantis.
All three of our teams have a pick within the first 9 selections tomorrow, so that'll be fun. If you're still listening, thank you so much. Tune into day 2 and day 3 of the NFL draft. A lot of. I mean, there were only 32 picks tonight. There's still 230 that have to be made, or 220, something along those lines. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. It was a lot of fun to do this. For Brock Bierman, Braden Benkin, and myself, Dawson Livingston, we are signing off from the Between the Hashes podcast.